No.
and was streaming. I think, yes, hello.
Hold on.
Yes, now we are streaming. Now I'm gonna go give links.
Nope, that's not you. That's not you. No, it's like I check now, and it was like before I saw you guys see your turtles now. But before it was like, oh, there's an asshole. I'm like, oh, okay, I don't subscribe to that. But all right.
Whoops.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Is this
We
time?
We don't know when the stream's gonna end because Zodiac doesn't know when dinner is. So
there wasn't a plan for that. So
no plan.
So it's just random fill stream and see how long we can do it. So
that's okay. Tomorrow's my Patreon stream. So all of the strums. Where's this bitch?
All the strums. Oh goodness, I need to. Eventually, I'm gonna try and stream on my iPad again, since apparently the first one did. It is nice to know that the first attempt didn't work because YouTube died.
Yeah. So, I know why it died too.
Yeah, because Google Plus.
Yeah, because surprise, the thing that nobody wanted and that went under, and they made integrate so strongly they take out. Also, okay, just so you guys know, in the chat, if you're try cursing and your comments deleted, it's not us, that's YouTube. They've started implementing that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even get a warning anymore for some people. It's just like, it's just gone.
It's magical. See, I just love the fact that that YouTube's like having such problems now that even like Markiplier made a video about it. But yeah.
Oh my god, so okay. Can I talk about YouTube drama for one hot minute?
Sure, go for it.
Alright. So I have two things to talk about.
Oh boy.
And they most of them have to do with the YouTube update stuff. So any of you guys who live in Europe know that if you pay attention, there's this law that passed that pretty much if there's any copyrighted music in anything, it'll be taken down immediately. And a lot of British YouTubers and like the podcast I watch have been talking about this, like, people need to be talking about this. YouTube, why aren't you talking about this? This is very serious. Well, out of nowhere, YouTube's like, oh, we realized in our ad revenue that this is happening and we care about our creators. And people are, no, you don't, YouTube. You're just pissed off that now literally half of YouTube isn't going to play in England or the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now you care, and now you have people talking about it, when the people who've been talking about it for almost a year have been trying to talk about it. But now that you got the statistics in of how much money you've lost, now you care.
I know, so. It is a mess.
Let's see, there's that one. Also, I don't know if do you follow Holly?
I don't think I do.
On YouTube? Okay, well,
Exposed.
No, it's fine. It's not bad. So she's had to stop doing live streams now because people don't have lives. And I'm a little pissed about this because Holly's my friend, but also because, so Holly and I were in a live stream on her channel, like, probably a month ago, where it was a chill stream like this, and we were just dicking around and talking about, like, shit you and I talk about. Yeah. Well, apparently, someone took that, like, almost 6-hour live stream, cut it down to 40 minutes, saying how we both support rape.
Oh my god.
Isn't that wonderful? Isn't it? And so because of that, Holly's like, I just don't want this drama. So now Holly's like, I'm not doing live streams anymore. I'm not doing topic videos because people with no lives like to cut them up and make it seem like we're evil. So I'm going to add rape apologists to my list now. So let's see, what am I at? Okay, I hate trans people.
Yeah, you're transphobic, of course.
I'm transphobic. I'm racist.
Yeah, you're racist. Let's see.
I'm a rape apologist now.
Yeah. I think. What was it? You're aphobic now.
I'm aphobic.
Yeah.
And then I'm ableist. There we go. I just need to get a shirt.
Yeah,
just with the bingo card.
Checking all the boxes.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
Lord.
Sorry for that. I want to talk about that because that really pisses me off.
No,
because,
yeah.
like, this is what I talk about. It takes one asshole to fuck it up for everybody.
Uh-huh. God, it's a mess.
I know.
That's the moral of the story.
Yeah. What did I just turn into? People with no lives need to get lives. It's kind of
really. Like, I just don't understand. Like, I just don't understand what like motivates people to do that. Like, at all.
I don't understand. Like, I'm being serious here. Like, Holly hasn't said this. This is all me. But how little of a life do you have to edit a like 6-hour live stream? Like, I'll listen back to some stuff, but you have to like. That takes work.
Like, even me, whenever, like, I just listen to live streams for fun, I usually can't sit through a whole one. I have to, like, watch part of it and then, like, come back to it later.
Yeah, or I fall asleep listening to one, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, I was listening to something. Yeah, exactly. Especially when, for, like, half of the stream, I don't even show up. So, yeah.
Oh, Lord. I don't understand people.
I don't either. So... Anyway, everyone got late again in Crackland. That seems to be happening. Very true.
That seems to be. We seem to have another cycle of that. Everything keeps ending with that.
I think it's because like they're growing up now.
I know.
Transphobic, but she's friends with Zodiac. Oh my god, Morgan, I had no idea.
I know.
Why?
Oh god, my secret's out.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love those. They always make me so funny.
I love it so much too. I just also love the person's like reason for it too. Originally, because like it's just so like out of context.
Mm-hmm. What are Tetsu and Ringmaster doing in Crackland? Ringmaster's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead. But he had a night. He died of old age because he's special. He didn't have like a sad death. Tetsu, I mean, she's doing good. She's raising her boys and her third adopted boy. And then she got her hubbins, and she's just trying to stop a war that's been going on for 2,000 years. She's just, doing normal life stuff.
Doing Tetsu stuff.
Doing Tetsu stuff. Making potions, saving pets.
Yay,
he's
helping
dead.
Children.
You're helping the children's, yeah. Bring him back. We can't, because he's... Well, I mean, okay, in a way, he is kind of back.
Yeah. Gabe already brought him back once.
I love that. It's like, didn't this hurt Gabe? And it's like, well, I'm still technically dead. I'm kind of just hijacking my son's body right now.
Oh, I love it so much.
How are the Sims doing in Crackland? A lot of them are doing their own thing.
Yeah, they're just there.
Yeah. Greed got his own family now. Who else got a family? Greed got a family.
I mean, Envy kind of does. She hangs out with her family more now.
Why do I feel like... Oh, wait, can we talk about that?
What part of it? Wait.
Let me type it out.
Yeah. What else? Let's see. Well, us just doing less things. Oh, yeah, we can talk about that. I think I've said that before.
Yeah. So I want to double check.
Right.
So, yeah, Envy, and it's hard because we have to use...
I know.
The Sim names again.
We keep calling them by their real names now, so now I have to consciously make sure I'm saying their Sin names.
I know. So, yeah, so Envy's about to become a great aunt. I feel like, okay, when this happens, I feel like she's gonna be the one to try to, like, get Cassie to breathe. Like, okay, you guys need to calm down. You, like, control your hubbins. And then he's just like, I've tried. It's not their fault. It's their instincts. They just do things. And she's like, they made a nest out of my room. Out of my room. I get a room here. Finally. It's mine.
Like, I finally get my own room that doesn't have to be invaded by people when they feel like barging in. And of all the rooms in this entire castle, they picked mine.
Why mine? And then I can picture one of them spoken. It's like, it's the one with the best window. Oh, of course! I get the best room in this damn place.
Goodness.
Poor Cassie's just like...
Envy has a sister. She does, actually. Dun dun dun.
Yeah,
Can't talk about that too much, but yes, she does.
Yeah, she has a sister. And her sister, I think we can say this, her sister's nothing like her.
Yeah, nothing like her.
We nickname her the Disney Princess.
She is a Disney princess. That is her entire character in a nutshell.
Which sin do you personally relate to the most?
Oh, God.
Probably, honestly, for me, lust, and not for the hoary part, but for the fact, like, I can just keep talking.
That's...
Like, I can go.
You know what? That's me. That's me, too. Oh, I can dominate a conversation if somebody lets me. I also, probably relate to Sloth too, just in the sense that sometimes in my head I'm like I'm rude.
Oh, that's it. Sloth got a job. We can't say
Sloth
what it
has
is.
a job now.
Sloth has a job,
and it's hilarious.
That he's actually good at, but he's good at it in his sloth way.
Yeah, good at it in his own way.
Yeah,
while his coworkers just kind of judge him and his bosses and their boss's original choice. Yes.
Yeah, so we have that. We have
Pride has a family.
Oh right, yeah, Pride is a family now. Pride is a son.
Yes.
He's got Raven.
Got a little Raven.
Who's at this point not so little. He would be like what, 5 or 6 now?
Yeah, he's like 5 or 6, I think.
Because I know that like Gino. Damn it, Gino. It is Gino, right?
It's Gino, yeah.
Yeah, he's got to be like 5 or 6 now too.
Hang on, let me look. I think Gino's like 4 actually, or maybe 3. Hang on, because time's a little bit fucked. Because everyone keeps like. Sometimes people have birthdays in the middle of things, so then like it kind of fucks up the ages I have written down.
Well, okay. 2 years ago, yeah, he'd be 5. Because 2 years ago he was like starting to talk and stuff, and he was a toddler for Halloween. Remember? Because
he's like, what I have written down is he's like, it's yes, all right. So Raven is 6, Eric is 5, and Gino is 4.
Yes.
Because they just kind of happened in a few years, so...
Yeah. Well, it's because Jenna was pregnant for so fucking long.
I know. I know. Cassie's gotta be pregnant for a year, because elves.
Yeah. My elves are knocked up for a year, and then when they give birth to little orange babies. They're not actually orange, they're the size of oranges. Except for those dragon twins, those are gonna be hard for her to push out.
Oh boy, that'll be an experience.
Let's see.
Then I think other than that, yeah, Wrath and Gluttony are just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, I think they're the only ones that are like kind of just chill.
Yeah, there.
They have to keep protecting Gluttony from becoming.
Oh, that's right, because she's human now.
Yeah, because she's dating. She's dating a demon. That's like an actual demon.
Yep.
And so they're like, I just like, God damn it, why are you so stupid?
And of course, she has to be the airhead, dating the demon that wouldn't mind stealing her soul, honestly.
At all. I mean, she. It's a she. I gotta keep remembering that.
Yeah, that's right.
Because she's not a spider anymore, she's a cat.
Yep.
So, yeah, she just, that's just how the demons are. They don't really fucking care. They're just like...
Oh, I love it. It's great.
Oh, when making 7 Sins and a Baby, did you have actual people in mind when you made the sins?
No. If you mean, like, did I have, like, real-life inspirations? No, not really. I think maybe one of them is that Envy kind of reminds me about, like, how someone I know kind of acts in real life. A little bit, but that's just kind of about it. But none of them were made like based on anyone in particular.
I get asked that a lot. They're like, "Oh my god, who inspired Tetsu?" I'm like, no one.
I know there's like a ton of writers. Like they say historically that it's like they were based off of this person. I'm like, dude, is that really a common thing?
Technically, I did base Alador off of an asshole I know in real life because I really like the name. I'm like, I really like this name, and I just want to repurpose it because you're an asshole.
Yep.
But Alador looks nothing like the person I based the name off of, so like... Chillers!
See, I can't really, like, bring myself to make any of my characters based on anyone I know, because...
I mean, I've made, like, cameos that are based off people I know, but they're, like, little cameos.
Yeah, and it just, I don't know why, it just feels weird to me, and it feels hard to write, too. Because it's almost like I don't want to make assumptions about someone, too.
Yeah, because then someone will be like, oh my god, is this like me? And I'm like, oh, they're kind of a bitch.
Yeah, and then it's like... And then it's also hard because, like, especially if I want to do anything with, because, I mean, like, none of my stories are really romance based, but like if romance were to happen, I'd like be so weird about doing any of that.
That's what's so funny. Okay, so speaking of that,
oh boy,
a lot of people keep thinking that Marked is a love story, and I'm like, there's romance in it, but there's more love like blooming in ticks and turns than there is in Marked.
Yeah, well, it's like I feel like people seem to assume that like the moment there's any kind of couple in a story, it must be romance. Like romance must be a theme.
See, that's why I can't wait for when 10 shows up, because, I mean, you know about it. But like,
I know about it.
It's not what anybody is expecting, especially with Tetsu's personality. But in the context of the story, it makes complete sense.
Yes, it does.
How did the wedding go? The wedding went beautifully, except for I was stressing literally until the moment I walked down the aisle. because people don't have common sense. I talked about it all in Pastel's stream. If you guys want to go, because I want like a full play-by-play. So if you guys want to, after this stream, listen to that, because I start really early. Where people were even joking, I kind of felt bad. People were even joking like, oh, a Michie Rambles on Pastel's channel. This is just what I was looking for. Yeah, check out Pastel Monster after this stream. And it should be like, I think we literally did it yesterday. I literally do a whole play-by-play. But if you want a quick gist, people don't have common sense, and I had to fight people before my wedding.
Oh, boy.
Because, like, my brother called my brother got there 30 minutes before the ceremony was supposed to start. And when I asked why, because he knew what time it was, he's like, oh, we were hungry. So they stopped off for food when we were having food in, like, an hour. So that happened, and then I had to fight my mom to get, like, the flowers and my pearls to the wedding on time, because I told my mom, my pictures are at 1 p.m., and my mom's like, okay, I'll be there at 1:30, and I'm like, no, Mom. No, Ron. Go find Becky. No, Mom. I need my flowers and my jewelry that you bought me when I was born. And so, yeah, I got to hear Car Father's ramble as well. Cody, now that we're married, you're now Car Father over Car Daddy. So people are calling you Car Father.
I like Car Father.
He likes Car Father.
Car Father. You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. You'll Fiat F23. What the fuck do you think?
But, honestly, after we did Walk in the Aisle, did the vows, everything was, like, fine and relaxing. And I bust a nut laughing because we had an open bar. So at one point, one of Cody's friends got so drunk that he fell on the dance floor, and he didn't get back up. Oh. And the twisted little shit in me was dying. I was laughing because the poor guy's just like, help, and nobody was helping this drunk guy get up. And I thought it was hilarious. Like, he was okay. He didn't hurt himself, but he was just so drunk he couldn't get back up.
Oh, no.
Let's see, what was it? What's up with Dimitri's arm? Oh, you want to tell this story?
Sure.
Because technically it involves Ringmaster, if you think about it. It really does.
It does. Oh, goodness. So long ago in Crackland, at some point, why did it just hit me right now that, like, oh my god, that's almost a year old at this point.
I know, right?
Jeez, we've almost been doing this for a year. Oh god, but yes. So a while back, when the boys were still young boys, because technically Ringmaster died twice because you know he died once and Gabe and Dimitri wanted to bring him back because because Matthias
was sad, and so was Morgan, and everyone was. I should say
ran
Morgan
away because he felt so bad, and it was not good times.
Yeah. Deaf Morgan, not this Morgan.
Yes, but they were also thinking like, weird. We we don't want to hurt Morgan either because. Because now that Morgan's a thing, if Gabe brings people back to life, it hurts Morgan because it's not natural to bring people back to life like that.
Yeah, and now that he's older, it could technically kill him. So, like, it was actually sweet. Like, the circus had to, like, team up and get a bunch of dead things around him so he'd be, like, okay.
It was really morbid, but it was sweet, okay?
It was family. Family works out for family.
But, yes, so they had the idea of, like, okay, what if we fuse with our anime girl fusion? And,
with Dimitri.
we give Gabe a power boost because Gabe, he's got a talent for lightning, so he's just kind of naturally in sync with lightning. So if he gets hit by lightning, he's fine.
He's fine. He just
gets a power boost. Yeah, he's fine. Remember that.
Emphasis. So, he's fine. And I've said this before. My mages can't be hurt by their element.
Yes.
Like, that was actually a really funny thing that we did. I remember, like, Lorelai and Wrath were in a hot tub together. No, it wasn't a hot tub. It was a hot spring. Yes. And they were both, like, making it hotter, and they didn't realize it, and everyone else had to get out, and they were like, wait, what's wrong? Why are you guys, like, doing this? Because they're both just fine.
Yep.
So...
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. And Dimitri's a time mage, not a lightning mage.
Yes. So, they thought, okay, what if we do this? We'll get Gabe hit by lightning so that he'll have enough power to do that, but we'll do it as Demetriel. So because they were doing it thinking it would like bring Ringmaster back and not hurt Morgan. They were doing this also Morgan wouldn't fucking die because that wouldn't help anybody. Yeah, because Gabe doesn't want to hurt Morgan. That's his thing. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. So they tried that, and I mean, in the end, it worked. Yeah, but they unfused, and
Gabe didn't know why.
Gabe was fine. Dimitri got hit by lightning.
Yeah, and so he was like going into shock, and his mom Noelle had to come and save him, and it was a close call.
Mm-hmm.
And so
but they saved him, but he got a scar from it.
Yeah, because if you actually Google lightning scars, people get really cool, gnarly-looking scars from getting struck by lightning. Yeah. And so that's what happened, and it kind of traumatized Gabe just a little bit.
Just a little.
I mean, first his dad, finger quote, dies, and that fucks him up for a bit. Then he watched his best friend start to, like, convulse and have, like, a stroke. No, not a stroke. A seizure. That was what it was.
And it's just... How did Tybalt have a mage son that's his element? He didn't. He had a mage son who was one of my world's mages.
Yeah, and Gabe isn't a light mage. He's a lightning mage. Yeah, lightning, not light.
Well, in my... Actually, okay. Because, like, in my world, mine work differently. Because mine don't technically have a specific element. Technically. But they just have... There's a specific kind of magic that just comes to them naturally.
Yeah, like, okay, so, like, how mine work is there can only be 7. Zodiacs are genetic.
Yes.
And you can have, like, and my mages, they all have the same, like, power level of power. They just have to, you know, practice and train it. Well, you know, Zodiac can have, like, Eric, who is a really, Eric and Kai 2, female Kai.
Kai Jr.
Kai Jr., who are, like, they really shouldn't be called mages, but, like, by definition they are. Like, all Kai can do is read minds and have very, very light telepathy.
Yeah, and that was technically Gabe's fault.
Yeah, and that was Gabe's fault. Well, Eric was born, but he's, like, really, 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 really weak. Then you got people like the Masters who are really, really powerful.
Yeah, which is why... I know not everybody follows me on DA here on YouTube, but, like, which is why whenever I have pictures of my Mage Masters, the reason why, like, probably 80% of them would always be, like, disabled in some way is because they're so powerful and they awaken at such a young age that they just kind of disable themselves.
Yeah, because, see, Zodiac's mages, like, the oldest they would be is, like, 6, and 6 is really, really rare.
Yeah. 6 is, like, uncommon.
Yeah. So you get it between, like, 1 and, like, 6. Mine, they don't get their actual powers until they're 13. Mm-hmm. So their bodies can kind of, like, adjust to it. Which is why they each have, like, a base thing, but it's not really, like, they can't do any magic.
Yeah.
So, and he's not a light mage, he's lightning. And in my world, lightning is considered a fire element over a light element.
Yeah.
Because, like, light and darkness, like, Tybalt and Adrian are, like, kind of in their own little class with Siren, where, like, time, lightness, and darkness are, like, their own little subsect.
Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness. But yes, so the whole reason why Tybalt was able to have a mage son is just because it's my world's mages. So that was Gabe's mom, her brother is a mage.
Yeah, she's not.
Whatever that basically means that there's like a 50-50 chance that any kid she has is probably going to be a mage too.
Yeah.
Because recessive genes.
Mm-hmm. Genetics. And then Morgan wasn't alive at this time, so Gabe wasn't going to let Daddy die.
Nope.
It's Daddy. Like, we talked about that. Like, it's so biased, but, like, if anything were to happen to Tybalt or Noelle, like, Gabe would bring him back. Like, there's, like, no question there.
It's just, like...
He knows it would be bad, too, but he's like, no, they're my
It's also,
parents.
he wouldn't even think about, like, Morgan in that instance, too. Just because it'd be so, like, instantaneous of a decision.
Yeah.
Someone asked us, give us a quick rundown of Crackland from beginning to now.
Shit, okay.
Should we try? Because that's gonna be an entire time.
I think we can. Okay, so...
Yeah, we're gonna have to skip a bunch of chunks, but we can try.
Yeah, okay, so...
Prepare yourselves, everybody.
Ringmaster kidnaps Wrath to join his circus. Shenanigans happen. Angel gets kidnapped in his bait. Sins get back. Time portal thing is open. The trio fall in when they're teenagers, and they kind of be buddy with.
We'll say my RPG characters.
Yes, with your RPG characters,
which includes Noelle and Kai. And those are
male
the
Kai,
ones.
blonde Kai.
Yeah. Those with Kai and Noelle when they're still technically barely adults, and yeah. So then
way
back then, and those are the important ones. There's also a few other people there, but that's not important.
Yeah. So wacky shenanigans ensue. People start bonding. There's a mystery that we can't talk about, but Alador and Zodiac's character Yasmin are both actually conspiracy theorists, and they have a couple of other things in common we can't talk about. But they like kind of go on this like mystery that's actually a really important plot to Seven Sins of the Baby. So we have to glaze over that. But
we have to skip a lot of the beginning stuff because a lot of it is spoilers.
Yeah, without even realizing it. So wacky shenanigans happen, and then I actually think after that, like, that's when we did the big time skip with the first generation of kids.
Yeah, I know at some point. Well, I know there's the funny thing because there was the gag originally where, because the thing is, the trio, they don't look like teenagers for my world standards.
Yeah.
So he flirted with Noelle at the time, and that
he convinced her to go on a date.
Yes.
Before she knew his age.
And then his age got revealed, and she was just like, oh my god, like, now I feel weird. But yeah, so that was funny. So then, like, everything, because the whole idea was that we need to figure out what happened so we can get them home. Because I know at some point after that, that's when...
I love my son. You are my kids. Because you're my shit.
Hello?
Ooh. Well...
Sorry, I dipped for a minute.
It's okay. Yes. So I know at some point, like, even after the trio, the other mages, except for Siren, got brought there too. So yeah.
Yeah, because it wasn't that she was brought there; she never like came over because she is like the one that could like kind of control it. So, because they did go over and meet her, I remember that because. Kai was really happy to
I think it was... Okay, hang on, wait. Oh, God, I'm trying to do this without having to, like, go back and look because it's going to take forever. But I know...
You're never going to find it.
Because before there was the giant-ass time skip, at some point, my RPG characters went over to your world for a good while.
Yes, that's when 10 snaps Kai's neck.
Yes, that was when we discovered that group could not die. So...
Yeah, because they... because of reasons we can't say. Yeah. But, so, a lot of people don't know about 10, because he's kind of an antagonist. He's weird, for Marked, but he's not even going to show up till the second book. He's mentioned, because he's very famous in their world, but, he doesn't actually show up until the second book. So anyway, they make him first. because the RPG characters are like the heroes kind of thing. And so they meet my world's heroes, which, twist, they're not really the best people. They're not evil.
Winks.
But they're not bad. And so then, like, they meet him, and 10 is very jaded. So I forgot how it happened, but, like, this is what I have to do the, like...
I think I remember. So it was building up because, obviously, they're in a world that doesn't like magic, and they have
that's
powers.
Right.
And, so for
and
most
10,
of them,
for
most of them, it's really easy for them to hide that fact.
Yeah.
Kai, however, my poor son, he
Can you get me a cheese stick, please? No! Please, I want a cheese stick.
No!
I love you.
No!
No.
Huh?
Okay.
Huh?
Oh
sorry.
So yeah.
He got to turn the AC off, so sorry.
Yeah. For most of them, it's really easy for them to hide the fact that they have powers.
Yeah. And so 10 pulls them aside.
But,
don't, there's glass! Get my cheese.
But yeah, so on the other hand, though, my poor son Kai,
thank you.
His powers are like entirely based on two things: his emotions and sound. So like anything that
he's a bard. Your RPG character. He's a bard.
Technically, his powers work with quote unquote music, but for some reason that seems to include breaking things or like clicking his heels together or whatever.
Yeah.
So just through that, 10 kind of picks up on the fact that this is a thing, and he confronts them about it too, and it's just like, and they don't lie about it, so they tell him, and I forget, I think he just asked like what else, like,
oh yeah, he's like, what else can you guys do? And someone, was it Kai?
I think it was Kai who said that. I think it was him who said like,
and we like yeah,
like we can't die or whatever.
And I had to like parentheses. I'm like, okay, I have to ask this because this is my character being 100% in character. Is it okay if he tries to kill him? And I explained why. I'm like, this is just who he is, because if he's told that, he's going to
test the theory.
He's very jaded. Yes. For very good reason. But he's very jaded, so that happens. And Zodiac gave me the okay. And so, like, right after Kai finished that sentence, 10 just snaps his neck in front of everybody.
And everyone's horrified.
And then he just kind of... I always pictured... This sounds really bad, but I always pictured it where, like, his head just, like, snaps back into place.
Yeah, that's probably kind of how it happened.
Which explains, the pain, because they always talk about the pain.
Yep. Because they don't just it hurts. I mean, and technically this group compared to the Sins, because both of them are technically immortal, but the Sins can die. This other group can't at the current point.
Yeah, it's hard to say without spoiling it, but yeah.
Yeah, hang on one second. But yeah, but the thing is too, is that the Sins, if you like cut one of the Sins' arms off, they'd actually get that arm back at some point. Like, it would heal.
It probably hurt.
Yeah, it would hurt a lot, but it would heal. But for this other group, if you were to like cut off their arm and that didn't kill them, they've lost that arm. So like,
oh really?
Yeah. Well, it's the reason why one of them has. It's the reason why Faith has scars.
Oh, I did not know that. Well, I thought Faith had the scars before that.
Yeah, no, she did. But like, the thing is, with the Sins, if any of them have scars, they've been healed now.
Oh, okay, I get what you mean. Yeah. Like Pride in his glasses.
Yes, exactly. And but yeah, so it was really funny.
It was funny to us. The other characters weren't laughing.
Yeah, to the other group, they were like, "What the fuck?"
So then, yeah, Kai gets better, and he's like, "Ow!" And they're all like, "What if he didn't come back?" And then 10's like, "Well, then he'd be dead. That's kind of a given."
Well, it's like, then you shouldn't have lied to me.
Yeah, it's like, well, then it's a learning experience.
Yep.
It's hard for me to get into character for 10 because he's so like at least Siren is like the funny monotone because she just doesn't care. 10's jaded, so it's just like two differences there, yeah. And then let's see.
Hang on, I want to update this for anyone who just got in here and is like super confused. Someone asked us to recap our entire crossover roleplay thing with our stories, so that's what we're attempting to do.
Yeah, we're still at the beginning.
Oh yes. Well, I know that. I'm trying to think of just like highlights from your role. Oh, I know one of the highlights was Kai got turned into a girl for a long ass time.
Yeah, and he didn't realize until like way too long.
Yeah, it was Tybalt's fault. I remember.
It was because my boy, he just can't.
Because I don't even, like, they were, I know they were all hanging out, like, in the castle or whatever, and Tybalt came to say hi. I think...
He was trying to do a spell and it just backfired.
Yeah, just something happened, and just somehow Kai got turned into a girl. And he didn't notice until everyone else kind of stared at him for a second, and he looked down and he's like, where did these come from?
Yeah.
And what about the orgy island? Oh dear, we're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. We'll get there. But I know that another highlight was that...
we have to explain that. That's a little different.
Yeah. But I know that at one point...
Look familiar?
Huh? Oh, you got the metal spider suit!
I have to go get some bases, but yeah, it's the Iron Spider.
Sorry, Cody's also playing Spoderman in the same room.
And guess what? You get the iron arms.
Oh, you get the arms?
Yeah.
Awesome. Get that suit.
Yeet.
You guys said it at the same time.
I heard that.
Right when you said ye, he said ye.
The Zone and I are one.
We're in sync now.
Kai was still a girl though when they went to Orgy Island.
But I remember other things that happened.
I'll explain.
Other things that happened were like I know I think this was before he got turned into a girl, but Patty had jousting match.
Yeah, in my world, and she won.
That was a good time.
Yeah, because she rode for 4.
Yeet.
For 4, who looks like Pride, which I think is funny.
Which is also funny because technically that happened was just, I think he just asked like, just like, so you're a warrior, and she's just like, yeah. And it's like, can you ride horses? Yeah. It's just like,
good.
You want to joust for me? And I'm like, she's just like, yeah. She's like, sure. Because Patty's...
That's who she is.
She's so chill.
She is. I love her.
She's such like, okay, by all means, I would not... Whenever she shows up, I'm positive there's somebody out there who would claim she's like a total Mary Sue, and I would not disagree with them.
I mean...
But that's kind of the point.
That's kind of the point. That's how I always saw her.
She's... And I mean, it's not like she got really skilled and shit out of nowhere.
She was raised in it. She's Bane. You adapted this lifestyle. I was born in it. Raised in it.
She's already raised as a warrior, and then shit happened. So I mean, there we go. But anyway, so but,
and while they're in this world, this happens while they're in my world. That's when Kai befriends Cassie.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Hang on. I remember. He was okay. I remember this now. I remember. Okay, because technically Kai got turned into a girl twice. I remember now.
Yeah, he was a girl twice.
The first time, what happened was he went with somebody else to Tetsu's place to try and get help to fix it.
Because she's the only one who has.
Yes, because she's the skilled one. So while he's there,
Lust is there.
Yeah, Lust is there hanging out and whatever, and
no, Lust did not try to seduce Tetsu. He is a gentleman.
Yes, and he also just knows when he won't get anywhere.
Yeah.
He does in fact flirt with Kai consistently.
A lot.
Like literally in the comic, you have all of you have that to look forward to because that happens consistently. But yes, so so he went there, and while they're like in the potion room, like she's doing stuff, he sees this little tiny cute spider on the shelf in a jar.
Tetsu left, and like Lust was in charge, and because that was the joke. He looked away literally for a second and came back and was like, "Dude, the fuck?"
Because Kai has a big heart, and that's his character,
and it was this cute little black spider in a jar.
And it's like, I want to be let out, and like Tetsu even told him not to let it out because she told him what it was.
Yeah, she's like, "That's a demon. Don't trust it."
And I remember
I'll be right back.
It all happened because Michie just really wanted to use spider emojis.
I found spider emojis, and now we're here. And Cassie's like a great character.
Yes, and so he let her out, and it was just this cute little 5-year-old elf girl. And that stuff happened with that, and
well, no, because he didn't know what she looked like right away, because she stayed as a spider until she did something evil.
Yeah.
So she was just his little pet.
Yeah, it was just a cute little spider that hanged out with him.
I remember it because so it's like after that happens, they kind of rendezvous because Tetsu and Lust are like, "To be very careful, we have to try to catch it." And then Cassie,
they bring up catching it, and little spider is like, "No."
Yeah, and then so Cassie made them poof, as we've now coined it. And so Kai's now back with his buddies, and he tells them what happens, and everyone is not on Kai's side. They're like, "You need to be careful." And then I forget how it happened, but somehow they brought up, "Oh, I remember what it was now. She was hungry."
Yeah, she was.
Because she's a gluttony demon. My demons don't work like how Zodiac sins are, because Zodiac sins aren't demons. Yeah. My sins are demons, so...
Mine are half zombies.
Yes, so, she says something like, "I'm hungry," and he's like, "Do you want this?" And she's like, "No," and he's like, "How about this?" "No." It's like, "What do you want?" And she's like, "Oh, cute. So I remember that, and like everyone else is really concerned, and he's laughing because he's like, "Oh, that's so cute, little talking spider." That's not what she means.
I cry.
And then she transformed into her little elf self. That was her elf self, and she's like, "Yeah, watch." And so she like just goes up to some Randy and kind of tricks the guy into making a deal. And everyone watches in horror as this little cute elf.
It wasn't everyone else. It was just Kai.
No, I thought someone was there with Kai. Someone had to.
I think it was Yasmin that was with him.
Was it Yasmin? I think it was Yasmin.
Because I think she immediately turned around and like made fun of him for it.
Yes, it was. And then it was Yasmin. Because I remember he wasn't alone. So yeah. Cassie just kind of... And it's like really creepy because she just kind of shakes this guy's hand. And they watch as like the guy's soul just kind of leaves his body and gets eaten by this little girl. And then she's like, "I'll die." And then she goes back and Kai's scared. And now Cassie's feelings are hurt.
And everyone else was like, "That's terrifying. Let's not mess with that." But Kai's like, "But I want to help her." Because that's how he is. That's how we do. Then, that's right. I think like almost that whole time, I think Noelle was with Tybalt because he was showing the girl he liked his home.
Yes, and she met his mom.
Yes, that was fun.
She met Heather for the first time.
Oh yes, that was a good time.
Oh yeah, because we talked about the Kelpies.
Yeah.
So yeah, that all happened, and then Kai tried to go on an adventure to like save Cassie, and then that was a whole arc.
Yeah, that was a whole thing that worked, and Kai had to die for it, but his entire character is that he's a martyr, so there we go.
Yeah. So what happened was, and he'd already died once, so Ringmaster got involved.
You know what? Honestly, I bet out of all of that group, Kai probably will have died the most by the end of the story.
You mean in canon or in Crackland?
I think in both.
Because I was gonna say, like, I think he's died at least like 8 times. Yeah, because he's gotten his neck snapped at least twice.
He my poor boy. He'll die for literally anyone.
Yeah, he got eaten twice. Plus just accidents. Like he's died a lot. I thought it was great though, because Fear did the deal with him. And Fear had to do the thing. He's like, I can't. Fear kept wanting to bone Addison. That's a thing.
That's right, that's a thing. Yeah. Oh, fuck! I still have that picture you drew.
You should post it. I mean, if you're okay with it, you can totally do it. It's such a doodle.
Where would I post it?
I mean, I don't know. You could show it on the stream. That's what I meant.
I don't know how I'm gonna find it because it's on my phone.
Oh, it's on your phone. Okay, well,
yeah, but I just remember because my girl Addison, she's like really like she's like fully clothed all the time because she just gets nervous anytime she shows any bit of skin ever.
And she's an uber virgin, so like my fear being a lust demon. He's not like lust, like Zodiac's lust. He's like a creep.
Yes.
And so like when he can like smell it on her, he's like, pure. I need it. I need it.
My queen.
My queen. And so that happened.
Yeah, and then his Sarah like kidnapped Addison for a second, and when they came back, she was like in super skimpy clothes.
Really skimpy. She was so like, uncomfortable.
Oh, it's so terrible, but it was so funny.
So then, that happened. They made the deal, and then Sarah and Fear had like a romantic dinner over Kai's like fucking organs. But the organs made them both sick, and they were like openly vomiting. But it worked, and then Cassie was all pure now, and she was just a little elf girl, normal, as normal can be. But she's got issues too. But
yeah,
because like she remembers being a demon, so she remembers like eating her parents.
Yeah.
And so then she got adopted by Kai
and his friends
and his friends, and so she got a big family. And then she and Angel became like
besties. weird cousins.
Weird cousins, and then just became besties as they got older.
Yeah, and then okay, I'm trying to think because oh shit, because I think they met Siren. Okay, I think they met Siren before, like briefly, like very briefly. But I do remember that after they met her, like they knew she was a thing. After that, I remember there was a part because at some point the Sins got dragged into your world too. That's when Gluttony met Gullah.
Yeah, oh, that is, and they had sex for the first time.
Yeah, and that was because like, we just made a joke that he would be a spider and he'd be super confused about human sex.
Yeah, because we had to look it up, and like I was dying looking at spider sex. Like I'm not gonna lie, apparently there's a type of spider that like literally rips their penis off and throws it at females they like, and I'm just like, okay, so I picture, because like, okay, how my demons work is they're based off of animals, and spiders aren't technically insects. They're I forgot what they're called.
They're
arachnids.
Arachnids, that's it. Thank you.
How do you not know what a spider is?
I forgot what the technical term was, but because of that, I was like, I bet he like wouldn't have anything down there because not a lot of male spiders do. So like, it's kind of Ken-dolling it. And so, like when Gluttony sees it, she's like, it's supposed to look like this, and he kind of just makes a penis. Because that's what they do.
It was so stupid, but it was so funny.
It was.
And then all the other Sins were just extremely uncomfortable.
That was the joke. That was the joke because almost all the Sins were virgins.
Yep.
And that was where the joke was, because Kai, out of his group of friends, was the only non-virgin, which is why Lust likes creeping on him. He's like, hey, I know what the others don't.
Yeah,
I know.
I can tell. There's no magic involved. I can just tell.
And it's so sad because, like, I know he's not my character, but we talked about how, like, he was too nice to say, like, no.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a bad thing, but he just didn't really want to, but he was just like, oh, well, they had a good time.
Yeah, she really wants to.
Oh, but that's why he's not as good Crackland wife.
Yes. But yes, and so I remember it was at some point the Sins showed up, and at some point the Sins like were with that other group, and it was at Tetsu's house. And I remember this the part where like Tetsu almost went insane. Oh
yeah, she got pissed because she doesn't like fighting in her house,
and nobody would shut up because there we go. That's my story.
Yeah. And that's when they learned that Tetsu can be scary.
Yeah, terrifying.
Tetsu's fucking terrifying. What are you talking about?
She just don't want to piss her off. She's like a really good. Because she's a really good mom.
All of my characters learned.
I know, but that's what was so funny is just like they're like, oh, she's so nice, and it's like, yeah, that's why if you make her snap, you fucked up.
Yep.
There's no that's you. You did. Oh, boo boo.
But yeah, and so That was a thing.
No. Kai wasn't assaulted. It's just like he wasn't coerced into it. It was just like a nervous thing.
Yeah, he's just a very unfortunate, awkward boy. But oh god. So I don't remember how we got like from there to this, but I remember at some point they were just bringing up the fact that I can't delve too much into it because spoilers.
Yeah, and it's spoilers for mine as well.
At one point, Tetsu wanted to do an experiment and have all of them fight in like a little, like an old arena type thing or whatever.
Yeah, she wanted to see like how they would be.
So she could take notes. And so things were happening.
Tetsu's like that. A lot of people don't know. She's a very scientific researcher kind of person.
Oh, I remember how they met Siren. I remember at least something that she did before this, was that one of my characters has guns.
That's right.
Michie's world doesn't have guns. It's way before
in the past
exist. So Siren, to try and make sure that nothing in time screws up, took my character's guns and like replaced them.
They were crossbows.
Yeah, she replaced them with crossbows. So
and he was mad because he kept like
very mad.
And he's like, how did I not even feel this?
And so that was a funny thing. But to try and keep the experiment fair, Tetsu essentially made him some magic guns.
Yeah, because Tetsu didn't know what the hell it was, because she went off of muscle memory, which is a real thing.
Yes.
So she kind of like did this weird thing with Zodiac's character's brain. So he would have like purple magic guns. Think like Bayonetta guns. If you guys know who Bayonetta is, they were kind of like that. There's like magic guns.
But so she did that, and that didn't make Siren too happy.
Oh no, she was pissed.
Yeah, she was a little mad. So yeah, and that was the thing. Oh, I forgot. I felt so bad when this happened, because I remember before they even like met Siren 2. Oh gosh, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but let's just say Michie's mages kind of parallel this group in a certain way.
Yeah,
but Kai was a little sad because he hadn't met his parallel yet.
Yeah,
and he was like, I kind of want to meet mine. So at first, with when he met Siren, who was technically his parallel, she
looked like normal Siren, like how she does in my world. I should say.
Yeah, and so like at first it was just like, oh, now I know her. But then whenever this situation happened, and Siren was doing what was right, but like it made everyone else kind of angry and pissed, and there was a really big argument about it. And but gosh, so but whenever this happened, Kai just kind of got a little bit upset because he's like, because he felt really bad, and it made him sad. And oh, that's right. When they met Siren the first time, he played music, and she liked it because it could make her feel happy. Because his music makes anybody feel a specific emotion. In Kai's case, because he's bad at controlling it, it makes people feel whatever he feels. So I remember there's just a really sad scene where she just like looks at him and asks him to play a song again, and he's like, I don't think I should. Because there was no way he was going to get a happy feeling out of what he was feeling at that moment.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of sad.
And I remember because they have this sweet moment, like, before the time skip happens. They have this really sweet moment where Siren has a moment of, like, I mean, you couldn't tell at the time, but, like, she has a moment of weakness where she's like, if you have to be given this opportunity, does this still make you a good person? And he was like, yeah. Like, he didn't really understand what he was agreeing to. But he's like, yeah, I mean, if it makes everybody else happy, then yeah, that's a thing to do. And so she gave him a finger quote kiss, but he knew something was up. Because if he saw what she actually looked like under her mask, he would probably would not be too happy about it.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't be rude, but he'd be scared. Because I mean, I'd be scared.
I know.
My poor scarred baby.
Why? But I remember it was before the time skip where I don't think they were back home yet. Were they? They might have been.
Which part?
They might have been for like right before the time skip, because I remember she like stops time with him and like does a whole thing where she shows him like Like, okay, if you had to kill, like, with all the little glowing balls of light to represent people.
Yeah, that was the moment I was talking. That was the moment I was talking about.
Yeah. Well, it's like, well, that was cute. I just can't remember if they were back home yet or not. But either way,
they weren't. I remember Siren showing up looking like how she used to look.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they weren't back.
That was the time skip because that's when the mage tower got involved.
Because I remember she showed up because she wasn't the one who orchestrated them all going back and forth from the worlds that time.
Yeah.
So she was like coming to investigate, and but
I'm a bit of a control freak. Can you tell?
Yeah. But I remember. Okay, so that happened. So everyone goes back to their respective worlds. The only difference is now Cassie's in my world because she got adopted, and so yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
So in my world, a year goes by.
A single year.
In Michie's world, a single year. In Michie's world, 5 years go by because Siren basically tried to speed everything up.
To, like, not have this happen again. Well, it smells like burnt hair. Cody, is that just me?
What?
Does it smell
it does smell weird.
Why does it smell like burnt hair?
Must be coming from outside.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it suddenly got the smell of burnt hair.
But yeah.
So, yeah, and then so what happened was the kids showed up. That's what it was. It was the kids.
Yeah, well, because it was first it was Naya.
Yeah, because
she just showed up and she was just running around like random kid here.
No, what was it? She landed in like Zoella's bath, and she's like, "We got fucking like tub gators or something like that." I remember it was something like that.
Oh, I love Zoella. But yeah, but I remember it was yeah, so like Naya showed up first and I was like, "Oh, well, okay, this is a thing."
It was Naya, and then it was Matthias.
Yes.
And then it was Ida. I think that was it.
Yeah, it was Ida because she was still a little baby vampire.
Yeah, she's
I think was that the baby that Zoella found actually?
Yes, because
she just walked in. And she's like, "There's a baby here," and she's just like, "Well,
yeah,
I'm taking care of it now."
And Addie was like scared shitless because Addie could like see like her teeth and stuff compared to everybody else, and being like, "Oh, yeah." It's like, why? That's not a normal baby.
But yeah, so then oh gosh, so then after that happened, I remember it was Tybalt that showed up first.
Yeah, and he made he made Noelle and kind of damn it. He made
Noelle and Kai both extremely awkward because he was obviously 5 years older, so now he's an adult. He was ironically
yeah, because he came through and like both of them like their jaws dropped.
Yeah, and he's now, which is ironic because he was the same physical age that Noelle was.
Yeah, because before Noelle was a pedo and didn't know it. She was like, they had one date and nothing happened. But when she found out, she
totally cute.
It was really cute. And then like, because that was the thing, like, he didn't know how old she was either. So when she's like, "I'm 19," he's like, "So?" She's like, No, don't just sew this. He's like, "Isn't that kind of normal?" And then like Alidor shows up. It's like, "Yeah, that happens like all the time." And she's like, "Well, that's nice. I'm conflicted and confused."
Just like help.
And then now when he's legal, he's hot.
Yeah, and oh gosh, and then
I remember this because Zoella came out and was like, "Wow, puberty hit him like a train." And he was like, "What's a train?"
And so yeah, like he shows up and Noelle's just like, "Oh my god, wait a second," like just like double take, and then Kai's just like, "Help," like.
He's like, "Oh no, he's hot."
She's like, "I've been reminded that I'm totally bisexual." So yeah, I know he showed up, and then...
Because yeah, when Tybalt grows up, I should say this. Okay, when Tybalt grows up, I can't show what he looks like. Patrons know what he looks like, though. It's not a shameless plug. I let them see like my older stuff that I keep on the down low. But he cuts his hair, and he gets more like masculine. He grows. My lit boy's not a lit boy anymore. He a lit man.
Yeah, and so I think it was him, and I think Tetsu showed up at the Sin's house.
She did, because she was looking for Naya, and no one knew.
Oh, That was the first time we had actual characters. Like, we had our oops, they had sex moment.
Who was it?
It was, hang on.
Wait, type it out. I'm trying to remember.
It's the one we can't talk about because it spoils my entire character's secret.
Yes. We had the character lose their V card on the lake bed.
Yep, and it was all because it was a totally funny conversation until my character slipped up and revealed they were insecure, and everything went from there. But
and then my other character, they don't. How do I describe? Okay, they care a lot. They're one of Tetsu's pets. I'm going to say that, and they care a lot about what Tetsu thinks, and they don't really care about that kind of stuff. And so Tetsu got upset, and they were like,
he contributed to making my character insecure too.
Yeah,
he exposed the other one. So
like he tried to like on a baser animal instinct be like, this will make him feel better. And I mean, it kind of did.
It did. It certainly did. But, so that was... Ironically, the one we can't talk about is our first, like, oops, characters had sex.
Moment, which is so funny.
Yeah. And it was great. But yeah, so that was the thing that happened. And so she came to the world because, like, hey, my daughter kind of ran off.
Yeah, and she's, like, really upset looking for her kid.
Yes, and so... she ends up, like, hanging out there for a little bit, and then...
Yeah, and the best part was, that was it, because the Sims are expecting to see a baby, because it's only been a year. They didn't know the time skip happened.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, well, let's try to find this baby, because, cough, cough, human trafficking happens in Zodiac's world.
Coughs.
Cough. And if Naya was caught as a baby, she probably would have, like, fetched a hefty price. I'm just assuming.
Winks. Yeah, so what... Okay... Because I remember just at some point, everyone else shows up because they're looking for their babies.
Yeah.
So, like, I think everyone other than, like, Lorelai.
Yeah. Okay, no, I remember this now. Yeah. I remember this. So, I remember how it happened.
Asked for this. This is what you're getting. This is going to take up the whole stream now.
I know, because it's been so long, like, since we've done the really beginning stuff. So, they all kind of reunite, except for Matthias and Ringmaster. Theirs was the last one. Because, like, Alador shows up and just kind of, like, cuts his wrist open and starts feeding his kid. And everyone else is like, whoa, what the hell? He's like, oh no, she's a vampire. It's fine. And they're like, no, nothing about this is fine. And then, I think Tibble asked Charity out on another date. And... Oh,
yeah. Well, I don't think he did yet. Because I think they were just being kind of awkward.
Oh, yeah, no, right. They were being awkward because they were like, they both had feelings about each other.
Yeah. So, wait, hang on. Wait.
No.
Wait, hang on.
No, I remember how this happened. Now. They went to the towers.
Yeah, no, that's what I was about to say. Because I think, I'm just trying to remember what reason they had. Oh!
That's who wanted to learn.
It was because they were trying, okay, Alador and Yasmin were on their conspiracy theory again.
Yeah.
Nudge, nudge. And Tybalt got dragged into it, and the person who the conspiracy theory is about nearly murdered them.
Yeah.
So they wanted to study a specific magic that made that character how it was. And
that's what it was, yes. They wanted to look into magic research.
Noelle said, well, there's a place where we can figure that stuff out. And it's like, we have mages here too. And it's like, wait, what? Because
it's the first time they hear about it.
Before this point, like way before current Crackland, they don't interact with people. They just kind of hang out in towers, and like most people don't know they exist.
They're very what's the word? They are very against change. They like their own little culture and their own lifestyle.
They have a reason for doing what they do.
Oh yeah,
it's just I can't tell it because spoilers.
Yeah, because of story things. So,
but. Well, I can say this. There's also the fact that no mages grow up in my world as a mage because whenever they get their powers, mage masters are trained to be really quick to find those kids. Because it's either we take their magic away so they can live as a normal person, or they come live in a tower. And the reason why is they protect them from bad people. That's what it is.
Yeah. And the towers are So Zodiac doesn't know this, but the towers are pretty much Hogwarts. Like, nothing is as it seems.
Why have I ripped off 2 things from Harry Potter now?
2 big things. 2 big things. But it's fine, because, like, Harry Potter's not that original either. Like, I love Harry Potter, but it's not that original. Anyway, but yes, they go to the towers, and that's when Anthony meets Tetsu, and they just hit it off really fast.
Well, it's also because, like, Noelle, for reasons, has a way to be able to get to the towers, because if they all tried on their own, it wouldn't really work out.
Yeah, they wouldn't be let in.
Yeah, but they go to the towers, and that's when Tetsu meets Anthony, because I literally made him on the spot, and I love him.
I love him. I love it. Daddy.
It was funny too, because I technically made Aaron and Anthony about, like, I came up with their concepts, and I was thinking, I either want to make them go see Aaron or Anthony. And so it was like a 50-50 chance of them actually running into Anthony first.
That's
I'm so glad they did.
I know, because then, like, ironically enough, Tetsu got her icy hot husband. It's like at the end of that. It's just so funny. Oh boy.
But yeah, so that was a thing. And then I know they were staying there the night, so like Anthony gave him a room, and he but it was so funny because he's not stupid either. He like totally thought that Tybalt and Noelle liked each other, so he's just like, so you must be dating, right?
Yeah.
But so everyone
Ooh, spider legs!
Waiters?
Sorry. No, Cody's playing Spider-Man, he got the robot legs too.
Yay. But so fuck, wait. I'm trying to think.
Alador was there because Alador poked in and he was like, oh, must have already left or something. And so, that's what it was. Okay, so
I remember at some point they ended up in the same room together, and I don't remember why.
No, they did. No, I remember why. So, without saying why, my trio go through a very, very, very traumatic event that alters Adrian and Tybalt's lives forever. I can't say what it is, but it's very drastic. And so, Tybalt, like, I think it was her, because she could hear him having, like, very vivid night terrors. And she kind of, like, just came in to check on him, because she's a doctor. And he was like, yeah, it's just hard to sleep sometimes. Like, I don't usually sleep by myself anymore. And then, like, she wanted to, but also didn't want to. And she kind of, like, offers, like, you want to share my bed? And he's like, like they're both really awkward about it. But I remember
it's so fucking cute.
It is. It's really cute because they're
so
both
awkward and nervous and in love with each other.
I know, and they just didn't know it yet. And
it was our first Crackland ship.
Yeah, and so what's great though is like they're very pure about it. Like nothing happens. Like I think like even one of them was above the covers or something too.
It was. Oh, I remember because Tybalt sleeps naked.
Yeah, so he had to put he was taking his pants off.
And like Noelle turned around and she's like, what are you doing? And it's like
he's like, I'm so getting funny. Ready. Yeah, and he's like, I'm getting ready for bed. She's like, naked? And he's like, yeah, don't you? Like he thought it was kind of common, and then so she's like, no, and he's like, oh, okay, I'll just wear this then. Like he wasn't.
Oh goodness!
They sleep together, and then Tetsu and Anthony are having they are hitting it off, and that's what's great.
They're just having a good time hanging out and talking and shit.
Yeah, and that's what I think is so funny. Everyone thinks that Anthony'd be a hoe, and he's not a hoe.
And it was funny because I remember this comment now. I remember whenever they walked in at some point. I don't remember at what point in the conversation. I think it was when they're introducing themselves or whatever. Tybalt at some point, I think Tetsu introduces herself and Tybalt chimes in with, and she's totally available, by the way.
Yeah, that's what it was. And then she was deleting it. No, because on the way to the tower, that was the thing. On the way to the they're asking about
that's her right, they were talking about personal lives.
Yeah, and they're like, so how about you? I mean, you have a kid, and she's like, I haven't seen him in a long time. And she doesn't want to talk about it. Yeah. And for story reasons, she and Ten don't break up, but they can't be together. It's why, this isn't really a spoiler because I have it out there, but he doesn't know Naya exists. He never knew Tetsu had a kid. And Tetsu, for safety of her kid and Ted, never kind of really came and told him either. So it's one of those no one's real, everyone's at fault kind of thing. It wasn't a well, it's all because of him, it's all because of her. It was they were both pretty bad about it. And so she's kind of she has issues with romance that I can't get into. but is very clear in the first book, so you guys don't have to wait for that one when that one comes out. But so, like, it's really hard for her to, like, because she had... Okay, I guess it is. She is actually pretty perverted, but she can, like, never let herself be that way. So it's like... It's the joke of the, like, oh, like, never trust the shy ones kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if she was raised differently, she would totally be, like, all for, like, open relationships and stuff like that.
You know,
but
like, low-key, just don't mind me. I'm changing the title of this stream to just talking about Crackland.
Go ahead. So Ten doesn't know he has a babe. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He does find out in the normal story and in Crackland, but it's not a good time when he finds out on both ends. So anyway,
which I don't think we can even go over that part.
We definitely can't. That is a huge, because you didn't even expect that twist.
Yeah, literally everything was there's a lot of spoilers in that whole arc.
I remember when that happened, you were like, "Oh my god, it was all there! It was all there!
Like, I should have known."
Yeah. So anyway,
but yeah,
so Tetsu and they're clearly hitting it off. But Anthony's a gentleman, and Tetsu's like, because of how she was raised again, she's like, I have a kid with someone else. I'm not pure, finger quote, because you got to remember the time they're from.
Mm-hmm.
Which I have to explain, because when I talk about, like, my characters not caring about gender, I explain it, like, well, then why would they care? I'm like, because she is still a female in this society.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you know, that's not usually a good thing. Anyway, so, like, Tetsu's having a blast, and I remember, like, because they wake up and they're like, didn't you guys go to bed? It's like, no, we were talking the whole night. And everyone's like, they're hitting it off, and that's when Tybalt is like, she's single, and she's just like,
No, but I remember, I think it was before that, because I think they were just talking with Anthony, because they were asking him to help, because the thing was, what they were looking into is something that's technically illegal.
Yeah.
You know? So, it's technically they're not supposed to be looking into it. And the thing about the reason why I let Anthony be the first when they meet is because, like, Anthony's whole thing is just like, well, you see, that's against the rules. It would be very terrible of me to recommend you do such a thing. You can't tell, but I'm winking behind these glasses. But, hello?
Oh, I'm listening. Because someone's like, I thought Tybalt and Noel were the OTP, and I'm like, they were. Until Demetrio came around.
Yes.
I'm sorry, like, I love Tybalt and Noel, but Gabe and Dimitri are just a little higher up on that list.
I know. they're good boys.
They just have dependence issues. It's fine.
I know. But yeah, so gosh. So it's so funny, like, thinking about this, because we're not even there. We're not even close to this part yet. But, like, once Gabe shows up, it becomes like the Gabe show for, like, a majority of
Isn't it funny? Yeah, like, it's still the Gabe show. It's still the Gabe show.
Gabe and Dimitri have become, like, the protagonists at this point.
I know. And we can talk about our antagonists that have finally come to be.
Oh gosh. So yeah, but I remember, because they were there and they were talking about doing illegal magic, and Anthony's the one who's like, he'll totally sneak, like, tiptoe around the rules in his high heels.
If he knows they're doing it for a good reason, he's not an idiot.
He's not he's not gonna actually do bad things, but that's part of his backstory. Which is why he's not super, like, all for rules. But some other of the masters are, like, April's kind of similar, but, you know, a little bit more subtle about it. But at one point, this is where we get, like, a little fun twist or whatever. But I think like, Anthony made a joke or something where it's just like, well, Aaron's just come to kick my ass. So, and that's when Aaron shows up, who's another master from another tower.
Yeah.
And he shows up because, like, you're breaking the rules, Anthony. And it's like, but it's funny because yeah.
I was saying, it was during that tower adventure that, like, Ringmaster breaks in, and that's when Anthony gets pissed. Like,
that's when Anthony gets pissed the first time.
He's like, no one should be able to break in here. And I love it, because Ringmaster, being the dick he is, like, oh no, I found a crack in the shield. I was like, where? And he takes what's inside. I was like, there's a literal crack. Like, he puts his hand on, he's like, feel. And he's like, that doesn't make any sense. And Ringmaster's just like, ah!
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, am I too loud? Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was Cody. He just made a noise.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
But
Are you hungry, honey? Hold on, honey. Are you hungry? Do you want to do Uber Eats again? I'll pay. Sure. You want something like easy, like McDonald's? Okay. Sorry, we're hungry.
Yeah, but God. So okay, I remember at some point when they were just talking with Anthony or whatever. This was before Ringmaster showed up. Aaron showed up, and it was funny because at first they were having a confrontation, and it was a one-sided one because Aaron's mute, so he talks. He's a telepath, so he was talking directly to Anthony. So for a few minutes there, it was just like silence. Then Anthony would respond to something, and then more silence, and just more responding. But then, but I know at some point he's just like, by the way, Aaron, you want to turn around and observe your surroundings real quick? And that's when he sees Noelle, and surprise, Aaron and Noelle are brother and sister. And that's cute. And he'd actually draw a picture of them together, I swear to God. But it's really cute because he's a protective big brother. And that's also when Aaron nearly kicked Tybalt's ass. So, you know.
Because he's just protective of his sister. It's not like...
I mean, let's be real. Noelle doesn't have any other family member to be protective.
And it doesn't help that Tybalt is very crass, so it does not help. Like, that's another... He has never once said anything degrading about her. Ever. Like, he's never even, like... And whenever he's cursed, it's cursed around her. He's never cursed to her.
Mm-hmm.
They're
adorable.
I know. I didn't... that's the one that sucks those. I want to draw them, too, and I'm like, any of them.
It can only...
I mean, Patreon can, but...
I mean, could we do it if they were in their human? Like, if he was a human?
Yeah, actually, I think human him would be fine. Yeah, no.
Oh, dear, I really zoned out.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, human him would be fine now that I think about it.
Yes, we can finally draw them together and post it online.
I know! I totally forgot about that because he's human now. But that's years down the line. Like, holy shit. Okay, go back.
Anyway, yeah, that's more Crackland shenanigans. But yes, so that was the thing. And so they have their little tower adventure to solve Alador's conspiracy theory with Yasmin. Then what happened?
Okay, honey, here, add what you want.
Let's see.
Honey. Code. Add what you want. I already have mine. Just make sure you switch it back over to PayPal. Sorry.
What happened directly after that?
Siren showed up. Because after Ringmaster did his thing, Siren had her grand entrance and as her what she used to look like.
At
and, like,
the castle, I remember, because the castle was like the hot spot for everything.
Yeah, and it was Tetsu, because I remember it was Aaron, Anthony, Tetsu, Tybalt, Alador in the trio, and Adrian, for certain reasons, couldn't really see the difference. And so, I guess I could say hers, because I can't really not say hers without spoiling it, but that's fine. Adrian goes blind in Crackland.
Yes.
So it gets fixed, but then she goes blind again. So they're all there, and Siren just kind of walks out, and I had a picture ready of, I wish I still had it. I have it like in a folder somewhere.
Yeah.
But she shows up in her jacket, and her scars are all gone. Her mask is gone.
Full hair.
She's got her full poof mane back. And she doesn't see it either.
She didn't even notice either.
Yeah, she didn't notice. So everyone's kind of staring at her, except for people who just met her. And then she's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you looking at? And they're all like, oh no, because she didn't open her mouth because she forgot how to talk. So
yeah.
Because she's also a really strong telepath. So when she's talking to them, her mouth's not moving. And they're all like, whoa, what the heck? And she's like, what?
Look, bitch.
Like, what? And then, like, I think it was Tybalt who was like, you know, it was like an Emperor's New Groove thing, like, do this, look at your hand. What? Yeah, I just got 2 cheeseburgers. I don't want fries or anything. And did you get a drink or just normal? Yeah. Just make sure you switch the payment over from PayPal from your card. Because right now it's on your card. Sorry. Living in an apartment makes you get, like, to go so much.
Yeah. But yeah.
So then, and then, like...
Why is mine a little longer?
No, PayPal should be there, too.
Oh, PayPal.
Yeah.
We haven't even gotten to the shit whenever a bunch of fucking God. Whenever Gabe shows up, all hell breaks loose.
I know. But that's when Kai sees Siren like how she used to be, and she's still like a kid. So he's like, oh, she's really cute, but like not in a creepy way.
Yeah, just
because I don't think he realized how old she was yet, like that she's actually an adult. He knew she was smart.
Yeah. Well, it was cute because I think it was after that like he and Siren just kind of started becoming friends and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh no! I remember. Yeah.
Oh my god! Okay, I remember. Ringmaster came to the castle at some point
to look for Matthias.
Yeah, and Ringmaster does his chaos magic, which in my world is like, you don't
forbidden.
Do that.
Super forbidden.
You don't do dark magic and shit.
But yeah, so and he's like openly doing it. Like he made a vase out of gold. Yeah. I remember what he said. He dead ass looked at Aaron in the face and is like, "What? You gonna tell me necromancy's bad too here, right?"
Yeah, and so I remember like I think it was even like Aaron just like kicked Ringmaster's ass.
He did because here's the thing: Ringmaster let him beat his ass.
Yeah.
Like if I actually try to fight him, he'll die. Because Ringmaster, I'm gonna be honest, when he's serious, he doesn't play fair.
Oh yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah, but well, because like I fucking remember now, because I think it was.
What?
I don't remember if like.
Fair.
Exactly.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I think at some point, Siren ages herself up, so she's like.
She did because. She was like, if I still had a sex drive, I'd want to have sex with Aaron. That's what it was.
I'd want to ride that man.
Yeah, and everyone was like really confused, and that's when they saw her like, and that's when they saw her being older, and like since she wears her like straight jacket thing, it's like just become a sexy straight jacket. That sounds so weird, having to say that, but it gets like really short when, because if Siren aged normally, she would be very tall.
Mm-hmm.
Because someone else in her family that I can't talk about is very tall.
Winks.
Cough. Thank you. And then so,
I remember, it was because Aaron was fighting Ringmaster, and Michie's mages are like, they're attracted to power in a sense.
Yeah, she was explaining that. She was explaining the power kick.
And so she just saw it, she's just like, because it killed me. On my end, because she's just like, if I had a sex drive, I would ride that man.
That's what like, excuse me, what? She's like, yeah, don't you understand? We're all attracted to that. And it's like, what? So she had to, in her deadpan way, explain, like, why else do you think Tetsu was attracted to a very powerful dragon? You know, Adrian has a crush on me.
Alador's in love with a half vampire.
Yeah, who's a half vampire from a very, very rare clan. You know, and then she's like, and then looks at Tybalt and like kind of like calls him out and is like,
why do you think he's got a crush on the world's best doctor?
Yeah, and it's like all this stuff, and she's like, it's just what we're attracted to because we're very, very powerful beings.
Yeah, but it was so funny. But oh god, so yeah, that was a thing that happened, and yeah. Oh, that's right, and then like fucking. Zoa's just like, just destroy my castle, why don't we? Just destroy my house, that's fine, whatever. I need it anyway.
How are your friends?
They're good.
Is it you and the Zode?
Yeah.
Who else?
Me.
Just me and Zodiac and Strom.
It's the Strom and the Zode.
Yeah, so that was a thing, and then what happened after that?
Zodiac. Let me know when it's time to go pick up the food.
Alright, well they're still preparing it, so you're good. Thank you, honey, for offering to get
because I know Aaron didn't leave yet because he didn't leave until technically after things happened. But
I think they just kind of chilled in the castle for a bit. I think Tetsu
I think we just did a lot of kind of chilling and like.
Oh no! I remember what it was. Siren could tell Tetsu and Anthony really wanted to bone.
That's right.
Because they both did. They both did, but they're both very. She is very much a lady, and he is very much a gentleman. But she's like. Again, her being her. I remember because they were talking about it. Like she was talking about with her little new group of friends.
Yeah.
And she kind of.
Oh, fuck, I forgot another comment that Siren said. Because when she like actually showed up and she realized like she didn't have her scars and shit, and then she realized she wasn't omniscient. I remember she fucking said,
"Oh,
you
right!
could die right now and I wouldn't know it."
It's wonderful.
And she said it like almost sounding excited, and everyone was just like, "What?" Like, it was.
Yeah,
so
she's like, you guys, you can all die, and I have to actually focus to see it. I like this place, and that's kind of why she pals around in Zodiac's world more, because she's just happier there. Is no real nice way.
Yeah,
because when she goes back, she's got her scars and pain and everything again. So,
well, it's like I think.
And then she influences, and she doesn't, and she like explains it, because I remember it's like someone called her out on it. They're like, "Well, that doesn't seem right." She's like, "No, the feelings are there. I'm just getting rid of the inhibitions." She's like, "I'm not forcing anyone."
I remember. Did she do that for Tetsu and Anthony? I knew she did that for Noelle and Tybalt.
She did it for Tetsu and Anthony first.
Okay, yeah, all right.
And then Aaron was asking about it because he's like, "That seems really like dark." And that's when she had to explain it.
I will never forget how Gabe happened.
Yeah!
So, okay, we'll just pretend that whatever else happened, we'll pretend that's it's just smaller stories and shit.
And Noelle and Tybalt did go on a date before this moment. They had another date, I remember.
So they acknowledged the fact that they both found each other attractive.
Yeah.
And yes. So
but they're both dorks. They're both dorks.
It was, okay, because Siren was hanging around with, like, Kai and Aaron. And,
oh yeah, because she was playing games. Because she can play games.
Like, I can play chess and actually not know if I win or not.
Yeah.
And so she like challenges Aaron to some chess or whatever. And at one point, they were just talking, whatever, and just they brought up Noelle and Tybalt. And it's funny because Aaron's just like like just silently grumbling to himself because he can't talk. And but yeah, so I remember at some point Kai brings up like, "Oh, I feel like if they had a kid, they'd probably be so cute," and whatever. So Siren like brings up what that hypothetical kid would look like, and that was me doodling out a crack kid. That's how Gabe was born. Just me really wanting to doodle a crack kid. And he's oddly enough, if you like look at the original picture I did for him, he changed a lot.
What was the original picture? I totally forgot.
Like, just like stylistically, he changed a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, like for one thing, I know he used to just have like a little normal cowlick, and then I think it was because you drew it.
It just evolved. Yeah,
you drew it like more of a giant curl, and I was like, well, guess that's what it is now.
Well, I like over exaggerated hair. For me, like big hair is my thing.
No, I agree too. But yeah, so I remember they were talking about it, and it's like, oh, it's so cute. I wish that could be a thing. And then like,
Siren says something. She's like,
Siren's just like, okay, well, let's make a bet. Like, I'll take Aaron on in like chess or whatever, and if I win, that will make their child a thing. But if Aaron wins, we won't. And I said that secretly Aaron would have just let her win.
Which he did. He just wouldn't admit it.
Yeah, but like, just because he wants his sister to be happy, and also because he would really dig having a nephew. Yeah,
and so because he doesn't like Tybalt for a long time. Like even after he's born, he can like stand Tybalt, but he doesn't actually start to like him until later on.
Yeah, and I mean even then he just kind of acts like a big brother who's like ready to beat him up.
Oh, 3 minutes. Sorry, I just got the thing now.
Yeah.
The guy is going to be in a Chevrolet Cobalt.
It's a Cubalt.
Love you.
But yeah, so I remember, so he lost, and so Siren made, she did the same thing. She did the same thing. Which again, okay, that was really funny because they were in the middle of a conversation with other people, and then they just started making out.
They were fine.
Like,
they
didn't even have like a first kiss yet. I don't think.
No, I don't think they did. I think they just like they were like mid conversation and then fucking like went.
And they're just like, there we go.
Yes, they did because that's where the joke of from.
The joke of what?
Remember, like, everyone bangs in a closet.
Oh, that's right, yeah. And then
they eventually moved to a bed.
Yeah. But yeah, so they just made up, and that was how Gabe was created.
Oh my god, and then, like, it was great, because, like, neither of them...
Like, okay, I would like to mention to anyone for anyone who has not heard me say this before, I would like to believe that our transition from Crackland's the weird crossover episode of our stories, that transition from that just like, fuck keeping anything canon. So we and that was when Gabe was born. That's when everything hit the fan. So yes.
But the best part was just like, because Siren was being, again, like really, really blunt and gross. Because like the two of them were like, oh, no one's gonna know, we'll be fine, we'll tell everyone we're dating now. And then like, because Kai, Aaron, and Siren knew, I forgot what it was, but like I think Siren goes up to her and tells her like, you're pregnant, and then Noelle, being the doctor, she says like, the chance of it happening your first time are, and then like Siren like says a number, and she's just like, what? And she's like, yeah, and then Siren says something like, okay, so this is a medical fact, but it is gross, so I'm gonna like give a small warning if this disturbs anybody. And YouTube, this is a medical fact. I'm not just saying it to say it. But she says like, well, sperm can live inside of a uterus for up to 18 days after sex, and even Tybalt's like, and now it's disgusting. Thanks for that. And I think Noelle was the one who was like,
okay. She said that because she said that because we were talking about the fact that Noelle can't lie now.
Oh right, yeah, because if you touch Tybalt, you can't lie. And so
she was so she brought that up as a fact of like, see, so you can't lie for a little while.
And what was funny was how like,
because they didn't tell them that like she was pregnant yet. They were just kind of letting that happen on its own.
Yeah, that's right. But I remember they were asking, he used a condom, right? And like people fuck a condom. And Tybalt's even like, what's a condom? And then I remember Noelle was like, oh, well, we'll be fine. Like,
just like, it'll be okay. But, and then it was funny because then after that too, it's like, and then we just jokingly said that their whole wedding was basically shotgun wedding because like,
it really was. It really was.
And Aaron's had a shotgun, only instead of a shotgun, he had lightning on his fingertips.
No, that's what it was. I remember because my son is just such an idiot. I love him because he gave him like all of this stuff to like here's what you do. Because marriage in my world is very different than like how, because Zodiac's marriage is like basic marriage how we have here, and so it was like, he gave him stuff and he's like, okay, you need to do this, and then like,
so like Tybalt, it was funny because I think Tybalt was actually doing that without realizing what he was doing it for.
Yeah, he was, because he had to go to Noelle's best friend and ask him advice, be like, hey, what, like, is it her birthday? Because I remember he was like doing it, didn't know. It was like, why do I need all this stuff? And then her best friend's like, it's
like, dude, this is for a wedding, like.
Yeah, and he's like, but what? Like, he's like, that's not how a wedding works. And he's like, what do you guys do? He explains like how his people, because Tybalt's wedding. That was something I had to work really hard on, but like Tybalt's knowledge of marriage is very different than a lot of other people because he grew up with pirates, so he's used to like pirate weddings on ships. But I think he said that he's like, there's a lot of alcohol involved, and then like, we need a ship and stuff. And her best friend's like, just stick to the list, okay? And that was it, because her best friend's a little bit of a bad influence, and so they ended up breaking the law to get the wedding stuff done. And Tybalt's having a blast, and Noelle finds out, and she's like, excuse me? and yeah, so then they have the wedding, and for spoiler reasons, we can't talk about the wedding.
Let's just say their wedding didn't end well.
Their wedding went the way of a George R.R. Martin wedding. they pretty much had a Game of Thrones wedding, but no one died. People almost died.
Almost. And then it was there was the sweet moment after a week later when Tybalt was okay. That was so sweet.
So sweet. It really was, especially because like he was really weakened out of it. He fucking like scrambled and didn't care.
Like, he got up and just collapsed. And it's like, no, you need a bed. It's like, no, I need to see my wife.
Yeah, it's like, I need to see my wife.
Oh, it was so cute.
It was so cute. Because that's who he is. Tybalt is such a hopeless romantic. Like, I swear to God, I really want to get like a version of Noelle into Mark, because I really want, because he's for his character, like, he's such a hopeless romantic. He's always been one.
I feel like he could be one of those characters where in a story that would benefit him.
Yeah, because originally it did, but his original love interest doesn't like make sense now, because like just realistically, so it'd be like, I don't know. I'm still fishing through that. Like, their story's not done. I've been working on Tetsu's for fucking years. I don't know when I'll get theirs done. But I really want to, just because, like...
You have my permission to make a ripoff of Noelle.
Well, I mean, if you want to go that route, you can make a Tibbleton yours.
Screams. I mean, I would if I knew how to incorporate that in properly.
Exactly. But no, that's just it. So, like, they have their wedding, and then it was like a good peaceful time for a bit. They had their kids, they had games.
Oh, I remember at some point,
Well, there's a party going on that front.
Wait, what's going on?
There was a fucking party going on that front, and some lady kicked my rock out of the door.
Bitch!
She's like, "What the fuck's this rock doing here?" And I'm like, "I'm standing right here."
Yeah, it's my rock. I live here. I just get ready.
So do you live here? I'm like, "Yes, I do." Room number 18. Actually, I'm waiting for my Uber. She's like, "Oh, well, don't leave the rock out here. It's insecure." I'm like, "I know.
It's why I'm here.
Why
I'm
do you have your keys?" I'm like, "I'm barefoot and I'm getting food
from my Uber."
From my Uber, bitch.
Wait. Okay.
And she then walked away.
Was she
on the street?
Was she short with like red hair?
Old lady.
Yeah, she's the lady who beat the pine cones into the street. Yeah, I told you about her.
You didn't even. She walked up to the street and just yeet the pine cones.
Okay. So this. Okay, pause real quick.
No. Let me finish. She yeets the pine cone in front of the Uber that was delivering the food.
No, that's what she does. Okay, so I'm sorry. Real quick. Are the Sins real names? Yes, the characters know their real names in Crackland, but we can't say them for story reasons.
Yeah, they're not going to be revealed here, unfortunately.
Yeah, just like how Zodiac knows a lot can't talk about. But so, no, let me talk about this chick real quick. It's just really, really quick.
Just go for it.
Not Crackland. Whoosh. All right, so I have to go to the Walgreens that's really close to my apartment. Like, it's literally a 5-minute walk. So I have my keys, and I forgot what I had to go to Walgreens for. Oh no, I had to get the money for our parking pass. So I had to go there, buy a 99-cent candy so I could get cash back to pay the parking pass. Because you can't just get cash back, you gotta buy something. So I get it, I get an envelope, and I'm walking back home. And there's this lady in front of me, and there's like some pine, it's like not even bad, but there's some pine cones. There's this older lady with a really bad dye job. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, it's horrible.
It's so bad. Like I don't want to be that person, but like, you know, when you're over a certain age, like bright red hair does not look good on you, because it's not even like ginger hair. It's like ringmaster red.
Yeah. And
so I'm watching as this lady's just fucking yeeting pine cones like into the traffic, and cars are honking at her, and she's. And I remember thinking, like, please don't turn into my complex. Please don't turn into my complex. Please, oh, she lives here. And, like, I have my keys behind her. And she's like, do you live here? And I'm like, yes. That's why I have my keys out, walking into my complex. So I can't believe you served.
Dude, and, like, she was so rude.
She's rude.
She looked at me dead. Standing. I literally... She probably watched me go.
Yeah, she probably did.
Shut the door, and I'm standing outside. There's also another yoked bro dude standing outside for no reason, and I have no idea why he was there.
Is he?
No.
Oh,
and then
I know the Asian.
No. Then the yoked Asian man.
Okay, because he
came
lives
up
here.
And was like, "What's up, bro?"
Yeah, because he lives here.
And I'm like, okay, this is getting weird. And then she yeets a pine cone. I go get the food, and as I walk back in, a very nice white gentleman's like, "Oh, do you need back in?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I kind of live here."
Oh, is he the older gentleman?
Yeah. White and the always khaki pants. Yeah.
Why does he always wear khakis? It's
old.
What does that mean?
He's a very polite gentleman.
What does that mean? When you tore older, just to wear a sombrero? What kind of race is that?
No, I'm just saying he's a nice old gentleman who just decided. He's like, "Well, you have a nice day." And I'm like, "You too, sir." He's like, "Why, thank you," and then just opens the door and lets me go.
He's going to me before I took the trash out. You're a very, very independent lady. And I'm like, "Thank you, sir." He's like, "You are very welcome on this glorious day." I'm like, "Okay, thank you, sir."
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, okay, back to Crackling.
Okay, yeah, so let's return to hell now, where we belong.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, God.
Noelle's pregnant.
Yeah, okay, at some point, I forget, was it before or after their wedding? At some point, I think it was before, actually, where,
Can you have your headphones still? Sorry, honey, we're still talking. Yeah. Hello?
Oh, hi. Sorry, I was... But yeah, so I think it was before their wedding. Tybalt got a ship and they just ran off and...
No, that was after. That was their honeymoon.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's like, well, at some point, I know it was like pretty close to their wedding either way. But
Yeah.
They went on a ship and they went on their honeymoon, and they also didn't tell anybody about that. So,
oh wait, no, you're right. That was before the wedding because
they were so stressed
Tybalt,
with everything.
Yeah, and Tybalt had a very valid reason. He's like, "I'm marrying her. We have spent no time alone together."
Mm-hmm. So they just they went on the ship together, and it was cute. And yeah. And then her best friend crashed the party for a period of time. Yes, so...
And Aaron and Alador tracked the best friend. That's how they were able to find him.
Yep. Oh, goodness. And so... Yes, so they did that, and that was cute and all that. So then I think after that, I think we just skipped to Gabe.
Yeah, because he was born, and everything was great, but Noel and Tybalt got no sleep because he kept screaming. And so Noel had to do some doctor stuff, and it was Tybalt's first time alone, and he hadn't slept in like 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And Gabe was maybe 3 months older. He was still a baby.
He was a baby.
Yeah.
And
so
I would like to mention, just for anyone who wants to know, before this, we had absolutely no plans to make Gabriel a godchild.
No, he was supposed to be...
The only thing we were playing around with, like, oh, what if he was a mage? Because I bet that would be funny as if he awoken and he was, like, lightning like his uncle was. So then, like, he, like, accidentally electrocuted Tybalt or whatever.
Yeah.
How funny would that be? So that was, like, the most we were playing with that. So Gabe was not super Jesus child at this point. We had no plans for that. So, yes, that's important to note.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that, like, Tybalt got fed up. Okay. Oh, that's right. Fuck. There's other thing. Shit.
What? What did you forget?
We never explained, because it was far at this point. At some point, there was a whole plot line about my past sins becoming a problem.
I thought they showed up with Gabe.
No, they didn't. Because remember, Lassuria and Nettie were a thing with Lucas when Gabe aged
the
everyone
scroll.
up.
Yeah, the scroll. I forgot about that.
So there was a whole scroll thing, and they brought... Let's just say a lot of shenanigans happened, and... Because this was also, like, during the time when they had the... Fuck, this was during the time when they had the Dragon Island adventure, and
we totally skipped over the Orgy Island thing. Everybody wanted to know about that. Okay, so we have to backtrack. Got too excited.
Okay,
so backtrack.
Okay. Since we're on this now, at one point, some of my past sins end up getting brought back to life because Gluttony is a donk. And she gives the scroll to the sin that she brings back. And unlike the current sins, the past sins were, they're more evil.
Yeah, they're actually evil.
They're way more douchey than the current sins. And they're really old. So she's an airhead, and she gives the scroll to the past Gluttony, and he uses it to bring some of his friends back. And so that's when we met fucking Zavist.
Yeah, we met
creepy ass. And then that's when
he's just gross.
That's when Avaris was a thing, like female Avaris.
Yeah, Femvaris.
Yeah, Femvaris. Who's really fucking creepy and evil.
She is the... can we say which sin she is?
Yeah, she's...
Or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can say it. I mean, it's kind of obvious if anyone's ever seen a picture of her, so...
Okay, yeah, she's the past greed.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of complicated stuff in that I can't get into, but, you know... But yeah, so stuff happens, and basically they have to... chase down, they have to go get the scroll back and shit, and stuff happens, and I remember, I think before this, I'm pretty sure, before this, they went to like a hot spring or whatever, and on like one of the dragon islands, and Lust runs off with Ryu, and and that's fun. And so they all go back without him at first, and that's when all this happens. And so,
oh right, 'cause that's where the picture came from, where he was super pissed.
Yeah, so Luceria gets brought back, and she's the past Lust. And unlike the other past sins, she's just sad. That's her whole character.
She never wanted to be a sin. She didn't want to do any of this stuff. It's just, she literally is a victim of circumstance.
Yes, and so she ends up taking the scroll, and she basically just runs, and she just goes. And
I love it. Past sins, Ultron. Current sins, Deadpool. Yeah,
yes,
that's actually really accurate.
It's really accurate. Honestly, even with the way they talk, that's extremely accurate. But yeah, so she runs off, and so they have to go find her. And what's hard is the fact that she's the past Lust, so she's a master illusionist. So how do you find that? And fuck. So I remember that like
they went on a mini adventure to meet Tetsu's parents. That's how it happened.
Yeah, and okay. So I remember that they needed somebody to help find them, so they call up Fear. And that's when, God, that's the awkward moment where he's like, well, I have to have sex with somebody here, and no one volunteered.
Oh, right. And then he ends up having sex. Okay, I have to emphasize this. Wrath is not gay, but Wrath pulled the short straw without giving too much away. So Wrath kind of takes one for the team.
Yeah, very begrudgingly. And he also did it to protect someone else, but we're not going to get into that. So, oh God. So they use that, and they're off to go find past Lust, Luceria. And shit. During this, they do find her without kind of realizing it.
Yeah.
Because, they do, and the interesting thing is Lorelai's the only one who could actually find her.
Yeah.
Because she can see through her disguises.
Yeah. My fire mage can burn through glamours. Ha, ha, ha. It's funny. Yeah, but because of that, she can see through, like, illusions and stuff. So, it's really funny. That's actually a really funny thing, because she meets Lust, and he is pissed.
He freaks out, because he's like...
Because she freaks out, because she's like, why is there a man in the bathroom? And everyone, like, all the maids and stuff are like, what, man in the bathroom? That's not a... And then he knows. They kind of, like, lock eyes, and he's like, okay, shoo. And he gets to the people, he's like, how in the fuck? He, like,
makes a noise off stage, and, like, everyone leaves.
Yeah, and he's like, how in the fuck? He gets pissed. But then they have this, like, weird kind of agreement between each other that we can't get into.
Yeah, they relate to each other in a weird way that I can't go into because spoilers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she was there. So Lorelai was helping out to find Luceria, and I remember it basically ends with Luceria making a deal with the current Lust demon.
Mine.
Yeah. So where she becomes human again.
Yeah.
Because that's what she wants more than anything else in the world. So she becomes human again, and she sends the other past sins. She closes the scroll, so they get sent back. And so then it's like Lorelai who volunteers to help like Luceria figure out a life, because she's like, I have a second chance now. I want to take it, and that's how Luceria meets Nettie, because Nettie's a relative of Lorelai, and that's how they meet, and it's cute, and now they're rich lesbians together
who raise dogs and have a beautiful son.
Yes, and that is Lucas, and that's how Lucas exists, because they adopted his son, and
and no, there is no reason whatsoever why Lucas looks just like Lust. There's
no reason. That totally wasn't the joke that started our fucking AU thing.
No, yeah.
But yeah, so there's that. Okay, what else?
I love this. Wait, Wrath feels things besides anger? Yes. He's not an asshole. I mean, he is, but...
Oh, yeah. So before we can jump back to Gabe being a thing, we have to talk about fucking Orgy Island.
Orgy Island, okay.
And I fucking remember now, because that was during the second time that Guy got turned into a woman.
Yeah, so, okay. They go there, and the reason we call it Orgy Island is so, okay, this is where it's in my storyline world. So... in my world, when the wars started, my world has 2 types of elves. And they are Nightshade and Sun Elves. The Sun Elves have another long Latin name that I don't want to look up in my notes right now. So I just call them Sun Elves to like save me time. But they are Drow and Goldeny elves. And by Goldeny, I mean like their skin literally like shimmers in the sunlight. So I don't want to go so far as to say like the gold people from Guardians of the Galaxy, but like a toned down version of that.
Yeah.
So
they go because
Cassie's from there, and so they want to like. I think they do it because they're like, oh, we should see if she has any family still alive.
We should take her to where she lived originally.
Yeah, so
they take this child and run.
Yeah, so they take her to this island, and we call it the Orgy Island because how their culture works is that they care about bond over blood. Mm-hmm. So there are, like, pretty much everyone's in open relationships and stuff, and no one really cares. An example would be like, okay, so Cody and I are married now, right? If Cody fathered a kid with somebody else, that is my kid.
Yeah.
Or if someone fathered a kid with me, it's Cody's kid because we're together even though blood doesn't exist. And you can have big families. You can have huge polyamorous relationships and stuff. And it's because they've adapted to a dragon culture. They actually treat dragons like gods. So that's why it's they're much more chill, I guess I should say, but they're also still assholes because they could help the war a lot if they wanted to, but they're like, no, we're fine on our island. Humans can't be here. We have our dragon gods, and we're good. It's always sunny. It's always summer. Why would we leave? So when they go there, they meet Kai's group of friends, and
poor Cassie's woman.
Cassie's uncles talk to the gun guy because he's the only male in the group at that time.
Yeah, so they think because Kai looks like a woman. Yeah,
so they don't know anything. So they're like, "How do you keep up with this many wives?" And he's like, "What?" And they're like, because it's one of you to all of them. And then he gets grossed out because they're like his coworkers and his buddies. So it's like, no, it's nothing like that. And they're like, "What the fuck are you watching?" I come back to this guy turning like turkey meat. It looks so weird. Sorry, Cody's watching a really weird video. Ew, it's on the ceiling! Sorry. So wouldn't that lead to crossbreeding? Yeah. But no, we don't really talk about those. That they realistically in their culture, they probably wouldn't let those ones like survive. Cough. Anyway, that's kind of what they do. So like, they're very open about it. Like, has Lust ever been there? I think he has.
I don't think he has.
Really? Because that would be like his paradise.
I don't think any of the sins have gone there.
No, it's a holy place. That's why. You're right.
There we go. Hey,
I remember they talked about it. And they were like, we can't. Like, wouldn't we like? But I mean, they probably could now, like in Crackland now. Yeah. But
okay. I stand corrected. After they were humans, Pride and his girlfriend went there with Cassie.
Yes.
Yeah, that was way down. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Crackheads all over the place. But yeah, so they went there for a time, so that was a fun little like adventure.
Yeah, and Cassie wanted to stay with Kai and her new family because she didn't really feel like she loves her culture, but she doesn't feel like she belongs with them anymore. Mm-hmm. So that's why she now became the mom friend.
She is the mom friend. And so yeah, that was important context because, okay, so.
Sorry.
Baby Gabe's a thing. So at this point, there are 7 kids, and most of them are, like 4 of them are technically canonical characters that were kids at the time. So you have like Angel, of course.
You have Cassie.
You have Matt, who's Ringmaster's kid.
Yeah.
You have Ida, who's Alador's kid. You got Lucas, and then you have Gabe.
Yeah, you got Lulu.
And then you have Naya. Yeah, you have Lulu. And then you have Naya. So there's 7 of them. And we thought that was funny because, oh, there's 7. They're a new group now.
It's a joke. The 7 miracles. That's where the mermaid picture came from.
Exactly. And so at this point, Tybalt's like on his own, and he's like hasn't slept in like 3 days, and he's just tired and whatever.
No, the sins do not work for Pastel Satan. That's something else.
Yeah, that's the totally other story.
But no, yeah. So because of how Tybalt was raised, again, in time differences, this was very normal back then. He's like, okay, I'm gonna put some rum in Gabe's milk because that'll knock him out.
Yeah, plus, it doesn't help that his mom influenced that too.
Yeah.
Well, no, do not do that to the baby.
Yeah. And he kind of just had it, and he can't sleep, and
So he goes to get it, and he hits his head on a cabinet, and just in a fit of anger, he just like frustration. He just like, why can't these damn kids grow up already? And because magic,
he does a magic way
something really hard. All the kids get turned into adults.
Yeah, so he is grumbling, and he makes the bottle, and he goes back upstairs.
And the room,
and he goes to and the room's like it's not destroyed.
It's
the room's
kind of trashed. But Gabe's gone, so it's like, oh my god, what happened? Did my son just get kidnapped or whatever? And okay. So this is followed by someone just kind of jumping on his face and hugging his face and going just like, Dad, something amazing happened. And here's the funny story of what led to Gabriel becoming the godchild he is. Because technically it happened because it happened because of Tybalt. Here's the reason that here's the reason why I keep drawing and posting so much fucking Crackland shit as opposed to anything else is because it's really hard to not feel inspired in the moment when this stuff is happening in a role play. So it's like, so when we were leading up to that, I already had the idea in my head of how Gabe was going to greet Tybalt. So my response image, I drew. So I drew a picture
before he had it ready.
So I had a picture of well, technically, Gabe and Ida, I think we've said were more teenagers than they were adults. But yeah. So older Gabe, hugging Tybalt's face while he just looks really tired and confused. But the thing was, because how we pictured it, we were okay, they wouldn't just have clothes. They'd suddenly be adults, and your clothes don't grow with you.
Yeah, because that's what happened to Angel and Cassie.
Uh-huh. And, oh, that's right. They got aged up before for a brief time, but that was something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we were okay, then they'd probably be really awkward, and that was a whole, funny situation of them suddenly being adults and naked. But I was okay, I don't want to draw this picture and have Gabe not wearing clothes. That's just weird.
Especially since he's holding his dad's face, his peen would have been right in his dad's face.
Yeah.
It would have.
I know, it would have. So it just that was too weird for me. So I was okay, I'll put him in clothes, and I'll just say that maybe he's just a little bit powerful than the average mage to where he can make clothes out of nowhere. And we'll just have that be a little joke, And
that is a thing my mages can do. They can make their own clothes.
See, I must have just forgotten the rule of you can't make jokes in Crackland because then we make it canon.
No, I think that's where it started. I think that's where the joke started.
I think we had that before, where it's just we were saying God, we can't make jokes or it becomes real. And I made a joke that he could be just a little bit more powerful and make clothes out of nothing. Because then his uncle shows up and sees Gabe poof clothes on his friends. And and he just be
that's where the concern meme came from.
Yeah, that's where the concern meme came from. Yeah, because it's just he can't do that.
He's concerned.
He's just very concerned because they can make clothes if they have a tool. I know Anthony does it at one point where it's if they have a enchanted wardrobe or something like that, they can kind of make clothes with that. But they can't just put clothes on people.
He has a secret lair.
You would have a secret lair.
He has a secret bomb shelter. That's his name.
Does it have Wi-Fi though?
Yes.
Oh my god!
He has Wi-Fi, a kitchen, a toilet, a fucking flat screen, a drum kit and guitar set. It's amazing.
I love you.
And a 3D printer.
I love you, honey.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, so that was a thing. So that was just supposed to be a little thing. But you see, me and Michie just kept playing off of each other, and he just slowly got more and more powerful to where we were like, I guess he's just God.
Yeah, he just became God.
He just became Jesus. And it was also funny because on his reference, his middle name is Jesus, which was decided on later just because we thought the joke was too funny.
Yeah, we were like, it's too perfect. And, like, it's funny because Noel's skin is actually darker than Tybalt's, because Tybalt's, like, Italian.
Yeah. And so I was just like, well, I mean, you know, I haven't developed her parents at all, so who's to say one of them wasn't Hispanic in my world, even though my world technically doesn't have races, but, you know, that's besides the point. Or wouldn't, realistically.
Holly says that we'll have our toaster and towels by tonight by 8 p.m. She primed our towels. Sorry, my buddy Holly got us wedding gifts. She got us towels and a toaster.
Yay.
Which we've needed for like so long.
Oh goodness. Yeah. So we just kept we just thought like, what if that was the joke that his middle name is just Jesus and his parents didn't realize that their child would be Jesus?
Because again, Tybalt doesn't know what that is from my world. My world is not Jesus.
And nobody knew like Gabe would be powerful, and it just became just a running joke of Gabe doing impossible shit, and everyone, especially like, and it's even worse. It's even funnier when like really powerful mages are like, "What?" Like, I'm concerned. So that was just a thing, and so like his friends show up, or his soon-to-be friends show up, and they're all adults too. And oddly enough, Gabriel is the only one who seems to have the mind of a child, while everyone else has the mind of an adult now.
And they're confused.
And everyone's like, okay, it must be something about him being powerful, I guess.
Well, the thing that sucks was because like they were like, oh, Tybalt didn't change it back, and my boy sucks at magic because he has a hard time focusing. And then you find out it's not because of him.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's because... Well, originally it was like, you curse them, so we can't just break the spell. So it's like, we'll just have to wait till it wears off. And it's like, how long will that take? You know, a few hours, few months. What? Nothing. Like,
yeah.
So they were waiting on that, but they didn't happen. So like, a long-ass time kind of goes by.
And they go on adventures.
Yeah, they go on a lot of adventures together as like the 7 miracles. And,
they have fun.
And Angel and Matt have the beginnings of a blossoming romance being cute.
Yes.
And
then one of my main bad guys shows up. You know, I can talk about her because I have her in my gallery. She's just really outdated. But her name is Yustet, and she is a demon that likes walking around in Tetsu's image because she really hates Tetsu, so she does it to fuck with people. She's not Tetsu, but she does it to look like her. So she shows up, and we've nicknamed her She-Satan.
Yes.
And then you can tell about the creepy little back and forth they got, because I got to use the bathroom quick.
So this is the we occasionally spontaneously come up with titles for our many chapters, and we like to label this unnamed chapter Jesus and Satan Standoff Part 1. And that's at least what I call it. And so, oh gosh. So she shows up the first time, and she essentially kind of kidnaps Naya, but nobody realizes it because she looks like Tetsu. And, shit. So, she does that, and then when she brings her, like, people kind of realize that something's wrong. And then when she comes back with, like, passed out Naya, everyone's just kind of like, what's going on? And that's when, like, because, okay, we didn't decide this before, and we decided after, and we decided the excuse would be that everyone else was acting normal about it, so Gabe didn't question it because he still has the mind of a child. And, so that was our excuse for this. But we decided, what if Gabe could see what she actually looks like? So she can see what she actually looks like, and so he knows what she is. And, they basically, like, he gets super serious, and it's really fucking scary. And, like, even the way, because I just wanted to be extra with it. Like the room just kind of feels like it gets cold and eerie, and he just stares at her. And so like they just kind of have a whole like a back and forth conversation where everyone else is just kind of horrified and not sure what's going on, and Gabe's just standing there staring at this lady that looks like Tetsu but isn't Tetsu. And I don't remember everything that was said in the conversation, but I remember that like at one point like of course his parents try to go get their son and pull him away from the scary, terrifying woman that's here, that's probably going to hurt them, but for some reason they can't. And they can't like get through to him for some reason. It's like something invisible stopping them. And this is like the first time everyone realized like, oh, Gabe's kind of terrifying. Like, huh. And so just the conversation basically all leads to her basically saying just like, so when are you going to tell them the fact that the reason why you're still like older like this is because you've kept it that way, or you've kept you and your friends that way? And that was like big dun 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 reveal that Gabe has kept him and all of his friends as adults. And so like eventually that happens, and obviously they don't fight, but she ends up leaving, and like whenever she leaves, that's when everyone can go over to Gabe and be like, Gabe, like you good? And like after she's gone, he just kind of breaks down crying.
Why are you crying?
Because he's traumatized. And as his parents are there, they have to comfort him and everything. But it was just fucking terrifying. That was the moral of the story. And yeah, so that was Satan and Jesus Standoff Part 1. And there's a lot of shit Gabe says that sounds like kind of really fucking creepy, like out of context or out of his happy, because he talks like he's 5. That's kind of the important like thing. He talks like he's 5 for 13 years. And so like the whole time he's basically saying like, you're not Aunt Tetsu. And it's kind of more trying to tell himself that, and everyone else too. It's just, dear Lord, serious angry Gabe sounds like a terrifying nightmare fuel. It is. It's pretty terrifying. Especially because Gabe's like perpetual expression is always like grinning or like just extreme expressions. So like when he's just nothing but serious, it's like, oh, huh. So, yep, there's that. And that was an event that happened, and that's when we got introduced to one of our main villains. And that's when everyone gets to find out that, oh my god, the curse has been gone for a while now. The only reason all the kids are still adults is because Gabe's kept them that way. Which, again, everyone's like, whoa. Like, that's a little powerful. And, fuck, what happened after that? Because I think they have to try and, like, convince him to age everyone back down again. And he doesn't really want to, because, you know, like, he's having so much fun and he loves his friends and all that. And he doesn't want to go back to being a baby because, like, if he goes back to a baby, he'll forget everything because he's a baby. And, what would Gabe and Angel think of each other? I mean, they're friends in Crackland, so, you know, but what happened after that? I'm trying to think.
I don't like crampies.
You're sad.
Hello?
Okay, I'm back.
Why are you glowing like a dead girl?
Sorry, I suddenly got cramps and I'm like,
It's okay. I explained the Satan and Jesus standoff part 1.
Okay, good.
Okay, so what happened after that though? Because like she left, he cried, and then everyone knew the truth that he was the one keeping everyone adults. So.
And then, well, I remember that like, what was it? I think that was the big moment, because I think like during that time frame and everything, Siri and him become like buddies, and then no, I remember what it was. He linked Tybalt and his mom together.
Oh, that's right.
And then we had wacky shenanigans with that. But then one of the biggest events in my stories happens, and people are having a good time because Siren and Kai kind of like finally hook up.
Okay. Before that, though, I remember. Okay. Before that, at some point, your past mages come back.
They did. They came out and they fucked with shit. That's right.
Hang on. My past sins came back. My past other group of people came back. And then the past mages came back at another point.
No, right. They came back. I remember now. They came back because Gabe was still older.
Mm-hmm. And Gabe was like, he kept his friends older for... I think they negotiated... Oh, that's right. They negotiated with Gabe to say, okay, you don't have to go back to being a baby yet, but... Because that's right. Gabe didn't want to go back to being a baby now because, like, what if...
He was scared.
What if the scary lady comes back?
Yeah.
And hurts my family? And,
Tindall and him had a cute heart-to-heart.
And so, so they made a bargain, basically, where it's like, okay, at least make everyone their proper ages, but if you want to stay, like, you can keep yourself a little bit older. So they agreed on keeping him, like, 5 years old.
That's what it was, yeah.
So for a whole year, Gabe was 5 years old. Gabe and Ida were 5 years old.
Yeah. And so, that's what stuff happened. He brought the past mages back because, like, Siren was not happy either.
Yeah.
It was one of those, like, oh, you want to see your friends, and it's like, no.
Oh, fuck. I forgot. The thing
Yeah.
that makes him and Dimitri's relationship kind of funny. There was a part, this was before he brought her friends back, I remember, is because at one point they're, like, having a conversation or whatever, and, at some point, Nios is born.
No! It was during that, like, weird time frame. That's right.
Hang on, wait, okay, I remember now. Okay, so we should talk about Nios, and then that can lead into this. So, at one point, because Tetsu, Michie's mages can only have one kid.
That's a thing.
Yeah, and so, but Tetsu likes children, and she wanted to have more, but she can't. So...
She's a big family lady.
Oh.
That's why she's best mom.
Yeah. And, it was also, I felt so bad because this was also, I just remembered the whole joke whenever, Naya met Anthony, and, like, she soon assumed that was her new dad.
Yeah!
And that was really funny. Mm-hmm. And I remember it was, like, during a really awkward time for Tetsu too, because she's like, oh god, I love two guys.
Yeah, this is weird, like, oh...
Help. And
it was during that time. It was during that time that 10 was back in the picture.
Yeah, and
she and Anthony had already been like a thing, so now it was like
and so
it was great though because we made the joke because they were the mature ones. Like when he came back, she's like, "Okay, I'm breaking up with both of you guys."
Yeah, that's right. We made the joke because you were like, "God, I hate love triangle. Like,
I hate love triangles.
How did this happen?" And I'm like, "See, it's the most mature and reasonable love triangle that has ever existed."
Yeah, so they break up, like all of them break up, but they all kind of still hang out, which is awkward. But like,
but it's like it's just to give Tetsu time to think.
Yeah.
And they're all mature about it.
Yeah,
but like,
because honestly, both guys wanted to win. It wasn't like they didn't want to give up on it.
It wasn't like they wanted to just like, So, but so they,
Oh, that was it, because everyone was taking bets, like, so who would win in a fight?
Yeah.
And Tetsu's like, they better not fight, because she hates fighting.
But, like, I remember, because they did whatever, but, like, she was talking about it, like, just generally, like, not thinking about it, just talking about how she wished she could have more kids, but she can't. And Gabe was just, like, listening, like, Because I think someone told him that Tetsu wanted more kids, but she can't.
I think it was probably his dad.
Yeah, but he told him casually. So he's just like, And so it's like, I want more family.
That's what it was, no, because Tetsu and Anthony had just broken up because they had, like, done it recently.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
So that, like, so Gabe just gives her a hug and says, like, I love you, Aunt Tetsu. And then, like, he runs off, and then just Tetsu suddenly gets super nauseous and has to run to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And then it's just, whoops, Tetsu's pregnant again. How'd that happen?
And now it was more awkward, because she's like, oh,
Yeah.
So she like, I think she tells 10 first, like off screen.
Yeah.
And he is like, he's chill with it. He doesn't really care.
Right.
Because he also knows he doesn't really have a leg to stand on. He wasn't in the picture for a while either.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, and she's still not with either of them at this time. Mm-hmm. So like, because she had that conversation with Noelle. She's like, because I remember like, well, isn't this a good thing? And she's like, I just broke up with both of them.
Oh, and so yeah, and then she went and told Anthony, and that was cute.
Yeah, and like, he was so happy. He was so happy.
He was.
Didn't he like start to light things on fire without realizing it?
No, I don't think so, because he doesn't really. Things don't go on fire when he's happy. It goes on fire when he's mad.
That's right. He starts smoking, or if he's scared, because when Niles was born, they almost lost her, and 10 had to like yell at Noelle
to
do her job. And it was one of those like asshole moments. But even Noelle was like, "No, he was right. I froze. I could have killed them both if I hadn't have frozen." Mm-hmm. But then little purple hair Niles is born.
Yay. And literally about like 10 minutes after he's born, Gabe turns him 5.
And I love that because like,
that was the greatest little mini arc ever.
That was because like they got to see that Tetsuo and Anthony can be scary together.
Yeah, and like because both of them were just like because they got because like obviously they're not going to be mad at Gabe for doing it. Of course, not.
Gabe, yeah.
Who would be mad at Gabe for doing that? So they're more mad at Tibble.
Yeah,
and so they're just like, hey, Gabe, you want to bring your dad here real quick? And he's like, sure, because he's an innocent boy. And so he just poofs his dad there. It's like, okay, hey, Gabe, how about you leave the room real quick? And he's like, okay, and he just runs out. And well, they're like just there with like really terrified 5-year-old Nios. So then like they're both. It was so funny because they both had like really calm, like kind of almost smiling faces. But I remember their powers were like surrounding him, so like they were like slowly, why are those flowers on fire?
Yeah.
And they basically just threaten him like if you don't fix this, like it's like you better fix this. It's like, but what if I don't? And it's just like you will.
And they gave him a time frame, like a really short window.
It's just like you gotta fix it in a month, like.
And I remember what's funny was like he forgot about it.
Yeah.
So like something happened where he came back and he was just engulfed in like flaming flowers. And he was like, I wonder what. Oh.
Right.
Oh, and I think he actually got scared.
Yeah. He was scared for his life. And God, I remember. Okay, because that was a thing, and now like Niles is a little baby boy, and he's adorable, and he's really smart.
Yeah, so he's back to being a baby.
And I remember there was a part where someone like sent snakes after Tetsu, essentially.
Yeah.
And that's when I got to write Anthony with him doing stupid reality shit.
Right, because one got Tibble, one possessed him.
Yeah, one got Tibble, and so like
that wasn't ever
yeah, that was right, because Anthony said, you see, you shouldn't have picked a meat shield that I wouldn't mind beating up.
Yeah, because he was pissed. So
he was already mad at Tybalt, and the snake just happened to pick Tybalt to be the meat shield. Yeah. And Anthony's like, here's the thing. I don't mind hurting Tybalt.
Right now.
Yeah, so he dicked with the snake, essentially, because it's not like the snake was very smart. So, like...
They're not. Like, my demons are, like... Technically, there's 4 levels, but one's, like, really rare to achieve. Mm-hmm. But, so... There's, like, the lowest level, which are the babies of demon to demon, which they're pretty much idiots.
Yeah.
They're
pretty much drones.
Yeah, they're drones. And so they have no, like, free will. They have no personality, really. You give them an order and they do it. And then you have the people who were turned into demons, but they're still, like, they're more, like, their vices control them. Mm-hmm. Then there's the rare one where they're, like, they regained their humanity, kind of, like, themselves. So they are, like, they're the wild cards. Mm-hmm. And so they have full control of their powers and their surroundings, and they have to have their vices to survive.
Yeah.
But they're aware of it. And then there's the head 7.
Yeah. And But yeah, so he had a fight with the snake, and he just dicked with the snake, and because
he beat up Tibble. He beat him up.
Yeah, and it's funny because like even because Tetsu and Niles were sleeping, so he's like, I'm just gonna make sure they don't hear this, so they don't wake up, because I love them. And but I remember because the thing with Anthony is that he's a fire mage technically, but he's also really good at reality magic, and part of the reason is because he's blind, and like why so many mages struggle, which hasn't really come up in my world at all, or in Crackland at all very much. But the reason why he can do it so well is, and it's why it's so hard for other mages to learn, is because it's really hard to believe something's not true when you can see it.
Yeah.
Like, you can see that object is totally right there and not somewhere else. So how are you supposed to convince yourself that it's not? So Anthony can't see it. So for all he knows, he could be on the other side of the world. So,
honestly, well, he could be making a tentacle monster, like whatever he wants.
Yeah, so it's really easy for him to do because he can't see it, so it's easier for him to convince himself for a second that something's true. And so he'll use that reality magic to dick with people and basically fight them without ever laying a hand on them.
We're not even halfway there.
I know. God. And this is the stuff that we just have to skip over in chunks.
Yeah.
God. So yeah, but that happened, and that was a thing. And so he fought the snake off or whatever, and then yeah. So then I was saying that to lead up to something, and
I think it's because that happened. That did happen.
Yeah, that did happen, and that was a fun arc.
I remember what it was. Okay, so there's that happening, and then so Siren realized that she was gonna die.
That's right. After that, like,
it was right around that time.
That's when Gabe like found his dad and whatever. And Siren came in, and at some point she just brought up the fact that like, so I think in about a year, that's the earliest I could actually die. And that made Gabe not happy
at all,
because he's just like, no, you can't die. That's no. And so he got really upset about it, and he just started like bawling. Because he's not even 5. He only looks 5. He's actually a fucking baby. And so, like, he doesn't understand.
He wasn't even 1 at this time. He was almost 1.
Yeah. And it was just, like, so that made him, like, obviously really upset. And so Siren, it was really sweet. She, like, she just hugs him and just says, like, it'll be okay. And, you know, I'll have, like, a next life who will be about your age. And so, like, you can grow up.
Maybe you'll be friends.
If these 3 do their jobs right, you can grow up together and be friends. And so he makes a promise to Siren that, like, I'll love your next life as much as I love you. Which we totally forgot about for a long time. Because it was just a cute thing for Gabe to say.
Yeah.
And then Dimitri shows up, and they, like, just to skip a little bit here, when Dimitri shows up, they become very instant best friends, like, even from
Well, okay. I think we should emphasize, because we can't explain how she dies.
Yes.
But she dies in a really fucked up way, and Kai is there to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she dies in his hands, and, like, they hadn't been a couple yet, but, like, he had always kind of liked her, and they started hooking up at that point.
Yeah, like, well, because after she came back, too. It's like before that. Oh fuck! I remember.
No, because they were hooking up first.
Well, yeah,
and even he said
she wanted to do it too because she was also kind of scared.
Yeah, well, she was
couldn't
scared.
See anything anymore?
Yeah, and that was a big thing because, like, okay, with a time mage, when their sight goes, they're not going to die like that instant.
Yeah.
Like it's just now they can't see when they die, and they can't look into. They can look into other people's futures, but she has to focus like really hard.
So yeah, but it was so funny because we had Gabe say that before, and we totally forgot about that. So he and Dimitri were growing up to be best friends. Dimitri being her next life, and then just out of nowhere, I just remembered one day, and I'm like, oh my god, Gabe kept his promise.
He do.
He took it to the next level, but he kept his promise.
He did, and then like, another thing though, because like we didn't talk, because like Kai was fucked up for a long time after.
Yeah, so I think it's hard to, because there was a point after that whenever a bunch of old people showed up, which
we'll
I guess we can kind of skip over that because a lot of that kind of is spoilery anyway.
That's what I'm thinking. I think that's way too spoilery to bring that kind of stuff up.
The only thing that's important is the fact that there's there's 2 characters, Gwen and Ira, and they're beautiful lesbians.
They're beautiful.
Yes, and that is just important. And I should mention, Gwen was also a character that was brought back to life, but she wasn't brought, and this is important, she was brought back not the same way that her friends
as the others. Yeah.
And that's important because she was technically brought back because Cassie did it to make Ira stop punching people.
Because Cassie was a demon again for a small amount of time.
Yeah, for a brief time because Ustet's a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but she was conscious because her friends saved her.
Yeah, the power of friendship.
The power of friendship saved the day. And, yes, so there's the magic of Crackland. So... But
the thing was, okay, when Siren died, Gabe had just become a kid again, so he wasn't conscious to bring
which thank God, because I remember too, because he was still a kid and they're like, okay, Gabe, kind of needed to be a baby again, please.
We miss you being a baby.
We kind of never got that. But
because Tybalt and Noelle felt cheated. They were like, we didn't get to have the experience of you as a baby.
Yeah,
you
we're
were
not
a baby
gonna get
for 3
a second
months.
one. I don't think we'd have a second one.
That was a great thing. That one was funny because I remember Tybalt's like, you're pregnant, and she's like, that would mean I cheated on you, and he's like, I don't care. Now he would, because he knows. He's like, oh wait, no, your side gave him the powers. We need to be careful about that.
Yeah, but anyway, but I remember at that point it was Adrian had her oops baby.
That one, we should explain that one because I think we could talk about that.
Yeah, we could. It's just okay.
Okay, so what happened was...
So body switching shenanigans happened.
Because
that happened a few times. For some reason, we keep letting that happen.
Because it was funny.
So I remember Adrian's...
Gabe with Naya's influence, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm. And, but I remember it was because Adrian's didn't switch bodies with anyone, but it was my sins and the other group of people who switched bodies.
Yeah.
And it made Addie really uncomfortable. So
it made her,
basically,
Adrian kind of took one for the team.
Yeah, Adrian just kind of made a deal, okay, how about this? How about, we all rotate, and then, I'll give, Lust my body. I'll take, his, and then you can have yours back. They all agreed. Yeah, so they all agreed. And thing is...
it was Adrian's mistake, because she didn't think.
Yeah, and... I will say this, it's kind of fucked up, honestly.
It is.
It really is, but
it made him feel bad, though.
Crackland really ain't a PG story.
It's not,
yeah, but I will say this, Lust felt sorry for what happened. He genuinely did.
He did, and in a weird way.
Because the thing was, Lust is still himself, and Lust in character, unfortunately, if he had someone else's body, he'd run around and he'd go sleep with people.
Which is what he did.
How he is. So that's what he did. But the thing is, Lust has never have the conscious, to keep in mind of the fact, I can have, kids because he's always been sterile.
It's because, okay, I didn't know if you wanted to say that.
Oh,
but,
yeah,
okay.
I have. He's sterile.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, so because of that, because Adrian said something like this, please don't get me killed or something, very basic.
Yeah, and so he kind of runs off and...
he kind of went to town.
He does, yeah, he kind of did, and he didn't really... think about the fact, oh yeah, I can get pregnant in this body.
No, I remember why, because she was it sounds bad, but I pictured it was that shit, this isn't his character, but it was that moment in the Scooby-Doo movie where he's I can look at myself, I'm a chick now, a real one. Yeah. I can see what it's like.
I know, so he just, because that's how he is.
So he kind of went ham, and he didn't think about it.
Yeah, and so he ended up getting... So they ended up, after, the end of the day, they switched back and everything was fine for a while until, Adrian discovers that she's pregnant. And she freaks out because she, as far as she's known, has never had sex before.
Ever. And it's great because I remember Tybalt and Alador show up at the Sin House and just both beat the shit out of Lust because they're pissed.
They don't beat the shit out of him, but they're not happy.
Well, they each get a hit in. That's why I said they each got a hit in.
They each got a hit in, which Lust totally deserved.
Yeah, and so, and everyone else is dude, the fuck, and then they're you got her pregnant, and then Lust is oh.
Yeah, and it's just Oh, and then it was even worse because she just asked, like, okay, do you know who it was? And it's like,
yeah, and it was one of those awkward, like, no.
Well, it's like, and he did feel bad. Like there was a whole thing where it's even.
I remember he helped, like,
yeah, he knew that like Adrian didn't really want to see him, obviously for obvious reasons, but so he would actually go in disguise and like help her indirectly, just because he felt so bad about it. And I remember, so what ended up happening, because this we can talk about, because I don't mind talking about Caden. Originally we didn't have anything in mind for like who it would have actually been with. We were just like, well, whatever. But then I remembered I have this character named Caden, whom is, I don't mind saying this, he's Kai's dad. And
okay.
Yeah, I don't mind saying that. But his whole story was the fact that it was funny because in Crackland he still didn't know this. He didn't know he had a kid.
That was the joke. The joke was that like he has terrible luck with women.
Yeah, and it's also funny because the first girl he had a one-night stand with, or a few one-night stands with, was dark-skinned, and Adrian's also dark-skinned, so that was a funny joke.
He has a type. He
very much has a type. But it was because his whole thing was that there was a lady that he didn't know very well, but they got together a few times, and then she just kind of disappeared, and so like she just kind of disappeared. So he never knew that she had a kid because she got pregnant, and he never knew that because she never.
Well, she didn't tell him.
Yeah, she never told him. And so, and it's. I don't mind saying this because this would not come up forever, but it's really cute, and it's part of Kai's backstory is the fact that his dad raises him without realizing it, or he mentors him, and neither of them realize that they're related.
Even though they're exactly the same.
Yeah, in personality they are.
Caden's just a little more chill, but like it's still there. He just doesn't let it show.
He still has the nervous awkwardness that Kai does, and but with all this is happening, it was so unfortunate because whenever Adrian didn't like know who the dad was, so like whenever
there's one thing I have to say, Adrian has issues with family that I can't get into. Yeah. That's real, but like because of that, she was terrified she'd be a really bad mom. Mm-hmm. So that's all I can say, and there's a reason for it.
Yeah, but like whenever the baby was born, everyone saw like, why does this kid like have Kai's face in his eyes?
It looks just like Kai.
And it's like it looks like Kai if he was a baby. And so everyone was like, they all looked at him. He's like, I swear, I never had sex with Adrian. I swear.
No, that was the best part. Because who was in his body? Because I remember it wasn't 10 was in his body.
That's right. Yeah.
During that time, and they couldn't like get a hold of 10, so they're like, oh, we'll just find out because for a time they thought Kai was the dad. They did.
Yeah, but they swore, and Kai was like, I swear, I never did. And it's like, obviously 10 didn't, like, while in Kai's body. So it's like...
But the best part was, like, they had this, like, device thing. This, like, magic device. And it went to Kai, and he almost fainted, because he's like, is it mine? And everyone's like, wait, is it his? And then they're like...
It can't be.
Yeah, then they looked, and they're like, oh, no, it's just really related to you.
Yeah, and so they went on a mission to go find the dad. And then they found Caden, and obviously Caden doesn't fucking know, because Caden's an unfortunate man, and he runs a bar.
I love it, though, because, like, Adrian's there, and he's like, oh, you're back, and she's like, hi, nice to meet you.
And she had to, like, they had to go explain it.
Because at least, because they know what the sins are, and the sins are, like, bad people, so it sounds bad to say, but, like, doesn't really help Les' character very much, even though it was... Yeah, so, like, and the best part was I remember, like, little I, like, poked her hand out, like, and he was like, oh, and he was like, oh my god. He just kind of
put the pieces together, he's like, oh my god, like, and so it was really awkward and really cute, and then also, it was so funny because I remember when Adrian saw, like, him and Kai interact, because they just interacted like, like old friends kind of thing.
She knew instantly, and I remember she
just looked like, let's see, same hair color. They might as well just be father and son, even if they aren't related. And she's just kind of like, huh.
And then looks at the thing, and she's like, oh.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
And So that's when all of that got revealed, and it was really cute.
And then Timble being Timble, because like, okay, Caden's not that old. He is older, so there is an age gap there. But Adrian was legal. I have to say that because they're older now. That's very important. Caden's not a creep, but and he's not like creepy older. So like it's a little weird, but it's not like the 19-year-old marrying like an 80-year-old kind of thing.
Yeah,
he was in like I'd say like his.
Yeah, he didn't really know that.
He would have. I would assume probably in his like early 40s, but like past his 30s.
Yeah, and like
because Kai is at least 21 at that time, right? Wasn't he at least? Yeah.
I have it written down somewhere because I wanted to keep up with how old like Kai's whole family would be. Just like for story reasons, whenever I actually write them in.
Yeah.
And hang on, I'm gonna look, but it's like because Caden was young when Kai was a thing, so like. Let's see.
Okay, so he was a young dad, so it was probably like my first bar and everything like that.
Yeah, and so like when Kai was not 17. When Kai was like 19, Caden was like 40. Is what I.
Okay, so yeah, it was right.
Yeah. So, and I mean honestly, it's not like he really knew when he like had a one night stand with lust possessing Adrian that like what her age was exactly. But, like, anyway.
Yeah.
So, and so that was the thing, and it was cute because they were like it was really awkward, but it's like
they made it work.
They just kind of like at first it was just like we're not gonna hide it from her. It's like we're both gonna be involved because he also really wanted to because he never thought he'd ever actually have a family.
Yeah, so like he's happy about it.
Yeah, so he's okay with it, and he's fine not having like perfect like life whatever with a wife and shit. He's just like, I will love her with all my heart.
He does get a wife though.
He does, because they ended up trying like, okay, well, now I feel bad because I remember there was a time when the trio went off and they got super hurt, so Adrian just disappeared for like a week.
Yeah.
And poor I. But yeah, so but like so they ended up being like, well, I guess we could try, It's like we don't hate each other. We can try, and it just kind of worked out. So.
Oh crap! Hold on again. I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, go to the bathroom. So yeah.
Sorry.
So that's a thing, and that's a couple, and that's just a cute little thing, and they live together, and it's sweet and it's cute, and it's also funny because Caden, unlike a lot of the characters, he doesn't understand jack shit about magic. Like, at all. Like, unlike some of the characters who've had experience with, like, having powers and shit, or living around people who have it, he has experienced none of that. So, like, everything with magic is new to him, and it's really funny. It's also funny whenever he met, like, Adrian's family, but that's another story. But yes, and then I is the thing, and she's adorable. But yes, that's a whole thing, and that's the point. Whenever I is, like, actually born, that's when Gabe actually makes himself a baby again, along with Ida. And also he ages because his other friends had basically been they'd been aging without them. He basically rewound them a year. So then they were all a year younger suddenly. So that was funny. And yes, so oh dear goodness. So yeah, so at that point it was after I was born because he didn't want to. Whenever Adrian got pregnant, he was like, "I want to see the baby though." So he didn't let himself get aged down until after she was born. Cause yeah, and yeah, so they were all babies, and that's important because what happens next in Crackland was really sad, and it sucks because we knew it was coming for so long, and like our playlists would betray us, so like sad music would play. And we'd start thinking about this whole thing, and we're like, oh, I don't want it to happen, Crackland, why? And Crackland has a mind of its own, I swear to God, it's terrifying. But, so yeah, and I don't want to talk about the sad thing until Michie gets back, because she needs to be here for that, because it's important. But yes, so they're all babies again, and everything kind of goes back to normal, because, like, Tybalt and Noelle have their baby again and everything. And, and then there's and there's all that stuff. And then I think a lot of just, like, kind of little shenanigans happen. At some point, the old the old mages like disappear because they were there temporarily and then they went away. But yeah, so I'll guess I'll look at the chat until it's okay, hang on. Do you have any characters with did? I do not have any characters with did. I mean, knowing me, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened eventually, but currently no. Since Les looks like a woman, I feel like Wrath would make a lot of period jokes. He probably would. I also had Canon Luna and Sphinx being like, I should have left you on the streets to begin with, but you didn't. Well, I mean, I know it was kind of more Felicity's fault that they quote-unquote adopted a cat, so, but yeah. Does anyone know that Greed wears a crop top? I mean, besides Greed? I mean, yeah, probably. I mean, he's probably taken off the little sash around his waist before, so people probably, like, the other Sins probably know. That's just a him thing from where he grew up and shit, so yeah. How many in total does Gabe help have miracle babies? Oh, shit. I mean, shit. I don't know if he really... Well, oh. He's about... In current now times, he's about to help with one. He's about to help with two, actually. But he helped Tetsu with that. I don't think he really had anyone else. He didn't help anyone else have babies after that. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think so. How many characters do you have exactly? Way too many. Hi, Zodiac. I'm trying to make a video game, but I can't figure out a boss idea. Have one? Well, I don't know what your game's about, so I don't know what would make a good villain for it, or a good boss fight. Do you have a P.O. box or anywhere to send you junk? I do not. I never really considered getting one. Scream?
No, period.
Scream.
Did?
We took another week. Ow. Okay.
Scream.
So I got my period. That's why I was having cramps.
Oh.
Hate it. Sorry.
It's okay.
Where did you leave off?
Okay. So I just got done explaining who I is and how that happened. And so
All right.
I know because I knew after I happened, that's when Gabe aged himself back to his normal age and then rewound the 7 miracles back a year.
That's right, because everyone was fine and they got younger. And that was when Angel was really sad. She's like, I'll never be 5.
It's like, or, no, it was like, I'll never be 4.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, because it was when 4 when things happened. Wink, wink.
Right, yeah, so.
So yeah, so that happened. And then that's when we finally had to rip the Band-Aid off and let sad things happen.
Yeah, and then Siren died in a very fucked up way.
Yes.
And it messed up Kai for a long... It messed up a lot of people.
For a whole year, actually. I remember because, yeah, so he, like, it was really sad. Because it's even worse because Kai's fucking powers are based on his emotions. So, like,
we should explain one thing. So, you know how Siren was worried about guns in my world? that came back around to haunt her, and that was something that, like, Kai knew because he was there. So, you know, seeing that she got shot... I'll say that because that's not how that's you know, very weird.
Yeah.
No one in my story can die from being shot. So, but it was a really traumatic thing, and so it was like one of those like she was right.
Yeah. Please.
I know. So
and it hurts because like God, there's a lot of like I swear, Kai like and his powers make him kind of like a walking poem sometimes. Just because, like, a lot of his powers will do very symbolic shit. Because before this, like, way before, there was, like, he discovered he had, like, a new power where it's, where lights will appear whenever he feels strong enough. And they'll be a certain color depending on how he's feeling. And sometimes when he's, like, thinking of something hard enough, the lights will start, like, playing it out. And so whenever this happened, it's like, for one thing, his eyes looked like broken glass. And it was really sad.
Because what did you say that fucked me up? Like, eyes are the window to the soul, and I'm like,
yeah.
Morgan! Morgan!
And, quite. And so, that was a thing.
Wait, and okay, real quick, wasn't it also during this time? Or if not this time, it was like really, really close after. Because Naya was still young, but the Horsemen were born.
Oh, I think it was after. Wait.
I know it was after, but I know for a fact Siren wasn't back yet.
It's the homemade suit.
Oh, nice.
It was after. I remember because I think that because Gabe and Dimitri were about 1 when the Horsemen came back.
That's what I'm saying. It was after,
yes,
but
it was after.
But Siren wasn't back yet.
Yes.
Because Siren was gone for a long time. She was gone for I think like 5 years. Yeah. She did like a mid-time skip.
I know she came back before. Like she came back after. No. She came back before, like shortly before, because because otherwise.
Yes. You're right.
Before Morgan was born. So
yes, I remember now. Okay, so
okay. Yes. So
no, I remember how it happened. So because the boys were still 1 when this happened.
We need to talk about Sad Kai though. Because
I know Sad Kai. Sorry, it hurts.
Because let's just say for a little while he just kind of locked himself in his room. No one really saw him for a while because
it's a good thing he couldn't die because he probably would, not in a suicide way, but he wasn't taking care of himself. Like there was a part where he like actually fell off a roof.
Yeah, that literally he fell out a window because literally he was just and that's like literally the first time anyone saw him out of it. And like the reason why is because I mean he isn't like people dying anyway, but he
was there.
It was really in that moment that he realized that he loved Siren, and and he never. Because before he kind of had a crush on her, but he thought, okay, well, I get crushes on other people too, whatever. And then he also thought, like, okay, she knows everything. So, like, if she would know this already. So if she's not saying anything, I guess I shouldn't say anything either. So he never said anything. And then he, like, after she died, it occurred to him, like, I should have said something because now I have a song I never sung to anyone. And it was a sad. We thought that her dying would be the sad part. No, it was everything afterwards that made us cry.
Oh, it was really bad because like Adrian kind of like had a mental break for a bit there too. It was bad.
That was part of the reason why like I and Kaden never saw her for a while.
Yeah,
and then like it was because Adrian was also kind of jealous of Kai for a while too, just a little bit, and they had like a really sweet heart-to-heart, and it's like because so like he ended up like they actually saw him again after he like fell out of a window, and that's when like Cassie and Noelle found him, and he literally fell out the window. It wasn't because he was trying to jump out of there, I should mention.
No, that's why I said it wasn't a suicide thing. He just stopped.
He was just sitting there looking out there, and he was so tired because he wasn't sleeping, and he just passed out like on the edge of the window, and he fell out, and. It was terrible. And then, so like, Cassie had to try and help him get better. And he'd started to very slowly. He was trying.
He was. And then he was doing good. And then, like, Dimitri showed up and, like, Tybalt knew, because he was living there. He's like, you cannot bring, because, like, they all kind of, like, they knew she was reborn. And, like, I'm sure Tybalt would have told Noelle. Yeah. But he's like, we can't bring the baby here. It's gonna mess. Like he's finally getting better. He needs more time to heal.
Yeah, like that'll just break him.
Oh, I see it. Shit. Sorry, Cody got to the Dr. Octopus part of Splinterman.
But yeah, so like, so then the thing is though, like because the trio found Siren's next life.
Adrian wasn't doing too well. Like she kept calling like Dimitri, like like we got her back, and the Alador and stuff. Like no, it's not her. She's gone. It's not her anymore.
Yeah, it also sucks because Adrian was going through some shit with the fact that she's kind of alone now because all her friends have lives.
Yeah,
and so they kind of try to steal her. I remember what you explained. It was they gave the baby to Ringmaster, so Adrian, like, to keep it away from Adrian.
Yeah.
And Ringmaster got so sick of trying to keep Adrian out that he just appeared to Cassie, gave him the baby, and said, like, it's your problem now, and left.
Yeah, because again, like, my mages, their powers are controlled by their emotions, so if a mage was to have a mental break, like, that's what I even set up, like, and here comes the eldritch monster.
Yeah, and so, like, Cassie was just running, and, like,
Didn't she bump right into Kai? I think it was Kai.
I think he ran
No.
She ran into Patty.
Yeah,
and then, like, but Patty was not able to... God, I love that, because it's such an intense situation. She was just like, oh, fuck. Like...
Because it was creepy, because she was, like, floating off the ground with, like, her shadow stuff. It wasn't like... Yes? Do I need to be quiet?
No, he didn't test any of this shit. This is the part where he turns into Doctor.
Oh, he didn't test any of his stuff?
No, it's got critical failures across the
board. Yeah, he's gonna go nuts. Oh, no. Dr. Otto, why? Sorry. It's like, you know what's gonna happen, but it still hurts.
I know. But yeah, and then, like, Kai, like, overheard it happening, and so he came around the corner, and he saw that, and he didn't notice the baby, but a
lot of people didn't notice the baby. They see just Shadow Demon Adrian.
I know, but, like, so, like, he basically talks to Adrian, and they have, like, a really sweet heart-to-heart, because they're both just miserable.
Yeah, because, like, I wish we could talk about, we can't, because, like, Adrian says some really big spoilery things that are, like, her issues, because, as the angel meme came out, I smell issues.
I smell issues. Yeah, but it was really sweet. And then they left to go have, like, just a private talk together. And
and then they're talking, they cry. They both cried.
Yeah, because it's also... Oh, yeah, we said that was where Kai could actually play music again.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Because Kai's whole thing was that he didn't want to play any music for anyone because he knew that, like, he wouldn't be able to disguise the sadness everyone else was going to feel if he tried. Like, we were even saying that, like, he'd hide it pretty well, and then he'd, like, break a vase and everyone would just feel, like, overwhelming sense of despair.
Yeah. That was it, though. His music is his vent art.
Yeah, but he couldn't do it because he knew it'd make everyone else sad. He didn't want to do that. So, like, since Adrian's already miserable, he could play music because she can't make her feel anything she already does.
Doesn't feel.
And so, yeah, but that happens, and they discover, oh, it's baby Dimitri. There he is.
And it was hard on him. It was hard on Kai.
Yeah, well, I think when did they show that? Hang on. When did like they actually show Dimitri to Kai? I'm trying to remember.
It was after that because they had him.
Yeah, well, I just remember where, because I felt like they were specifically somewhere, but I don't remember.
I think I know what it was. I think they were in the garden. No, they were in the game room. They were in the game room.
Okay. Yeah. Well, like,
because that was like Siren's favorite place. Because I remember, I think it was Tybalt that like kind of brought him out and was like, and explained like, you know.
Wait a second.
It wasn't.
I think they were like, for some reason they were with him at like Nettie and Lasuria's house.
Are you sure? I don't remember that.
So, but like.
Okay. Either way, because I don't remember.
I don't remember. I feel like in my mind that's where they are, because I don't know how I imagine any, like, if you asked me to put any location we've ever had our characters be on paper, I couldn't do it, but for some reason I have, like, very distinct backgrounds in my mind whenever I, like, picture it, but I don't know why. But, like... and
I'm the same way.
The image that's, like, coming up to me is the image I have for the background of
what their house is like, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so, like, I think for some reason they were there, but, like, that's when, like, he gets to meet it, and obviously, like, it hurts him a lot, but, like, he's Kai, so he's sweet, and they're just... Tybalt's just talking where he's just like, we don't really have a place for him yet because, you know, he's like, you know,
his real family wasn't safe.
Yeah, and like we can't give him to Tetsu because she's kind of all over the place right now. Now,
she's bounced around all the places.
And we can't give we don't really want to give him to Ringmaster all that much, and. You know, so it's like we don't really know what to do with him.
And for reasons we can't talk about, Lorelei's in hiding, so they couldn't give her to Lorelei.
I think they were going to visit Lorelei. I think that's the reason why they were there.
Yes, no, you're right. They were going to visit her because
and Kai was going to kind of take his mind off of things too. So like, yeah. And but I remember that like, and then they couldn't give it to like Alador because they just weren't sure if that'd be good with like Ida and shit.
Yeah, because
no.
Oh no! Is it already getting him?
Yes.
Quiz.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. And then oh gosh, and then I like so stuff like that, and obviously can't really give him to Adrian exactly. But yeah, so they're just talking about like we don't really have a place for him yet or whatever, and then Kai just says like, does he have to stay in this world?
Shit.
And they're like, well, no, I guess not. He's like, he can come stay with us. And it was really sweet and sad. And so Kai just kind of adopts Dimitri.
And it's great because, like, he sleeps with him and everything. Like, he's a good dad.
I know, he's so cute. And then that's when
that was it. He had to tell him, he's like, yeah, he's lactose intolerant.
Yeah. And it was just really sweet and really cute. And it was nice. But, so after that, it's like, Kai's like getting better, or at least it appears like to everyone else. He's able to function essentially.
He's able to function, but he's still kind of messed up.
He's still not doing so great. It's like not even been a year yet, and like so that's whenever like Gabe and Dimitri get to hang out, and like it's so cute because whenever like they're little babies, and like
that's what they're.
Gabe gets to meet his new friend, and he's like he just hugs it like this is my friend now.
Yeah, that's what the Scram meme came from.
Yeah,
Scram.
And that's because for some reason we always thought like we always, whenever we had the babies, because you can't really have babies talk, so whenever we were, like, describing baby motivations, we do it in, like, asterisks, and so it's just a lot of really stupid baby logic. It's so fun for some reason.
You did not show me the green pinup, how dare you? I have to see it in your chat.
Did I not? Shit.
No, you never showed me.
Whoops.
My Gabriel Angel boy. I know that's not why he got those, but they look like Angel wings. Sorry, I just...
Anyway, so...
Shit.
Oh, hold on. Your phone's going off code.
Hello. Hey, what's going on?
Sorry.
Just sitting here watching TV.
Hi.
What's going on?
Whisper. Scram.
Yeah, we're just... Okay. Yeah, we're just sitting watching TV and hanging out and just trying to... We went and got rent and stuff.
I'm gonna mute for a second.
Yeah, okay. Well, I guess I'll explain it. So, yeah, so, like, they become very quick friends, and it's cute, and they have, that's where the scream thing came from, because for some reason we had this stupid idea of, like, what if Gabe doesn't, like, cry? He just screams, like... So, like, Gabe's thing is that whenever Gabe wants attention, he'll just scream. And so he got Dimitri to do that, too. So him and Dimitri will just scream in unison and just, they'll make beautiful music. And so there's where that meme came from. God, we're not even anywhere close to anything. Jesus Christ. So, anyway, so stuff happens and, like, yeah... people growing up and everything else, and I'm sure there's other shit that happens before then, but basically like a year goes by, and yeah, she's reminding me I'm getting to there, I swear. But so like a year passes and we decided, okay, what if Gabe, what if he just got his powers like really earlier, like he was a really early bloomer, and so at the age of about 1, Gabriel just suddenly awakens. And he fucking knew. Yeah, he was a taser. So he awakens and he electrocutes his dad. And what's funny is that a long time ago, he put a thing on his mom and his dad to where they were connected. So whenever one of them gets hurt, the other one gets hurt. So
okay,
like,
we're back.
Hello. So Tybalt got electrocuted. So then Noelle got electrocuted. And their baby was magic.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, okay, he just awakened early. This
yeah, and so that happened. But then at one point, they were all in a room or whatever, and that's when God.
Because Kai was holding Dimitri. I remember this.
And I think it was really funny because whenever it happened, I almost imagined it like one of those cheesy sitcoms where like an old character finally returns. So it's like at some point they just poof and Gabe just throws his arms up and he's just like, we're fine, like hello, we're back.
Yeah, and then Dimitri is like, hello, because this is his first time, being
and he's
5.
super excited, and like everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's happened! We thought we were done with this."
I love it because Tipple's like, "It wasn't my fault this time. Y'all can't blame me."
Oh, Tipple, they can,
and they do.
Yeah, but like, so he just aged Gabe and Dimitri up, and so from that point on, Gabe and Dimitri have this consistent thing of their parents being like, "Okay, no, you have to be babies," but like for some reason, at this point, they like. Even as babies, they like have this weird, like, I don't want to say it's like telepathic. They just kind of know what each other are thinking. And
I think it's because of Gabe. He like gave that
so too. Because like after that, whenever they were babies, even though they couldn't talk, they like they kind of thought like they were 5 already.
Yeah, they were.
Which I think was almost like Gabe being deceiving. Where
it was like, a game. Like
we'll
it was a game.
Yeah.
And the thing with time ages is they love games. That's I think with all of them.
Yeah, well, they loved being older, but they couldn't. Parents didn't want them to be older, so they'd have to make sure to do it carefully. And the thing is about Kai is, unfortunately, he's a total pushover. So he'd be left in charge of both Gabe and Dimitri all the time. So they'd always just age themselves up and just be like, "Don't tell our parents." And you'd be like, oh, "Okay." And what's also funny is because Gabe doesn't like being unfair. So when he ages him and Dimitri up, he has to age
everybody else
their friends up. But yeah, so
like we've made the joke. Poor Lucas has to like stay home from. He'll wake up older. It's like, they don't like magic. You can't go to school now.
Lucas is just like, help, like, please. But yeah,
he dance. Sorry, Cody made Spider-Man dance.
Dance. But yeah, so and it's at this point like now that Gabe and Dimitri are more aware that they start to kind of notice how like sometimes Kai is just kind of like distant.
He gets depressed.
And like one of the things that's like really sad is that whenever Kai starts thinking about things that like make him sad, there's like magic little clouds that just kind of start appearing around his head.
That's where the picture came from.
Yeah, quite. That's one of the other ones my dad printed out and put on the wall.
He put the sad one.
Yes, and it's so funny because so many of those pictures are from Crackland.
They're good pictures, though.
I know. Like, there's the one of Kai Jr. and Morgan. There's one of Morgan.
What did you say about Kai too? It was something she inherited her.
She inherited the ability to seduce the twinks from.
That's what it was. Yeah.
But yes, so it's all in the hair. But yeah, but they kind of start noticing that, and they're like, But what's also like because they're kids, so they've like at one point they've kind of overheard the name Siren before, and they're like,
but they don't know who that is.
Siren. So they ask Kai, and he just kind of like he's just really.
I don't think he tells them. I don't think he can do it.
I think he kind of avoids it.
Because I remember Alador took them to like a coven to clean it, and they saw her painting.
Yeah, well, it's like I know that they could tell that like her being brought up like made him Kai sad for some reason. I think I don't know if
it was Alador. No, it was Alador because he explains it because like they go down.
I know before that. I know before that it was like somebody. I don't think it was Kai, but somebody just mentioned like why does like this Siren like make Kai upset or like as Gabe calls him Kai.
I think Cassie told him why.
Like just someone said it's like because she's gone and she's not.
She can't come back.
She can't come back, and they're just like or like she's gone. It's like well like when she comes back, will he be happy? And it's like she can't because they can't tell them that she's dead.
I know, and I remember that was one thing that Kai does tell Dimitri is he says something like she's doing really good work, like while he's like talking to Dimitri. I remember it was something along those lines, and Dimitri didn't get it. He's like, "Well, when her work's done, she'll come back, right?"
I remember there was a really sad thing. And there was a sad thing where like, I think who was it? Yeah, someone takes like Kai to the coven or whatever.
Yeah.
And and that's when he just like.
I think that was.
Why am I like choking up thinking about it? Stop.
I think it was Tibble. I think Tibble was being a bro. Like he
was like, well, it was just to give him a chance to just like say everything he needed to get out.
Yeah, say goodbye because he never got that.
He never got to. God, I remember having to try and write that shit, and like
that hurt me. That hurt me.
It took me so long because I kept crying and I couldn't like see the words I was typing. But
because he saw the painting of what she like used to look like when she was happy and everything.
Yeah, and so like he said, but I remember he like came back. And, like, Dimitri and Gabe were napping, and, like, Dimitri, for some reason, was just crying in his sleep.
Yeah, that's right!
And, it was like, and he woke up, and it's just like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. And it's like...
Then why am I crying?
And he's like, that's weird. And oh... yeah, so, like, that was helped, Kai be able to, like, put on a better, like, I'm okay face. But, God, that was such a hard time where we just kept crying constantly. Yeah, so eventually,
yes, oof the feels. That was us.
Yes, but like, so as far as Gabe and Dimitri know, like Auntie Syrian's this lady we've never met, and
she's on vacation, something like
she's gone somewhere doing something important. But like her being gone makes Kai upset. So like they don't understand that she's dead, obviously, and they also don't understand that she's Dimitri. That's
and the thing is too, like, because he's a kid, so no one brought up the reincarnation thing.
Yeah. And
so another thing I remember what it was because like.
Oh, I remember what Kai said to Dimitri. He said that like when he asked about her, he said like she's doing great things.
That's what it was. Oh, my heart.
And cries. So yeah, and so, like, Gabe and Dimitri went with Alador to go help him around the coven or whatever, and they saw her picture, and he's just talking about, like, that was Siren and whatever, and so they're thinking, like, So Dimitri, like, distracts Alador with questions, while Gabe just stares really intensely at this painting. And
No, because Alador told him, because Dimitri knows he's going to be a mage, but he doesn't have powers yet. And so Alador's like, well... To sum it up, magic is just wanting something hard enough, and Gabe just kind of hears that.
Stared, and he's just like, I want her to come back, so Kai can be happy. Because
doesn't he like pass out and they're both poof back to being like little kids again or something?
He gets like really tired, which is weird because Gabe only sleeps for 30 minutes tops. So
yeah, Gabe don't sleep. He fasts.
So he's just like, oh, yay! It's like. Like, Gabe, you okay? He's like, I'm fine.
No, that's the only time he sleeps for a long time, so he brings people back.
Yeah, like, when he does, like, really extreme magic things, he'll pass out for a while.
Yeah.
But, like, so, like, Aldor's like, okay, and so nobody notices anything, and then there's the really cute thing where Kai's just walking down the hallway, and he sees, like, a chess piece roll out of a room, and he's like, that's weird, and so he picks it up and goes to put it back, and when he puts it back, just...
The chess piece says, like, will you play with me, or something like that, like...
So he, like, goes in there to put it back, and he, like, when he puts it down, there's, like, a hand there, and he looks up, and Siren's back, and it's just, like, he's like, so will you? And it's so, and then he just hugs her, and it cries, and it's so cute and sweet. Yeah, and then,
because, like, the thing, too, is, like, Siren knew she died, so it wasn't, like, because, like, a lot of other people, when they come back, they don't, like, Ringmaster and Seer were the ones who are like, no, we died. We kind of know we died.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, so it was really sweet, and it was cute, and it was happy tears.
It was happy tears. And then they talk it out, and they become a couple. Mm-hmm. And then that's where, like, Siren's competitive nature started showing.
Oh, I love it. And then, yeah, so then there they are, just cute. And then, yeah, and there we go, and then things are happy again, and then everyone else is just like, oh my god.
You know, this sounds really bad, but I feel like this is a good point to, like, pause and, like, continue. Because now we're at, like, the halfway point, I think.
We are, Jesus Christ.
And this has been a long... Okay, the towels should be there. What? Hey, Cody, hold on, let me see if my towels are here. Mm-hmm. Holly says that Amazon says that our towels are here.
Where?
Probably by the front door.
Should I just...
Hold on, let me check real quick. I don't have pants.
So just look out the door.
I'm gonna look out the door. towels!
Yay!
You have to get them on my pants. Oh. Okay, I'm back. I love the.
Should I label the stream part 1?
I think so, because I feel like it would be too long, and you haven't even eaten dinner yet.
Well, honestly, I wasn't really that hungry, and even my mom was like, "Hey, like, do you want dinner? Because I'm still full." And I'm like, because I had a late breakfast and then a late lunch very soon after that. So like, I mean, I'm probably gonna get a snack, but that's probably about it.
I love this though. This is only the halfway point. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's we're gonna have to. Now we have to do like a second part.
I know.
We can't escape our responsibility now. And like,
I know.
Part 2 is probably gonna be longer because this was the halfway point only because we didn't have to explain everything.
Yeah, we're getting closer because there are still a couple of spoiler things, but they're not as much. Like your story, spoiler stuff is done. Now it's all my stuff.
Yeah, well, mine end after the Shins become human.
Oh, so. Right. Yeah, that's right.
Because technically, that's the end of my story. Cough, cough.
Yeah, when the sins are swayed.
Yes. But like, God, because we haven't even talked about, because we haven't even gotten to the. Oh yeah, that's right. Because we said like, ironically enough, the Horseman kids were the thing that cut off like the second gen stuff.
Yeah.
Because like after they're born, there's like a big gap before anyone actually has any more kids. So like, cause shit, hang on, I need to consult my family tree here.
my scary family tree.
Fucking family tree that I made for some reason, and I need to update again because we've now figured out more shit. Because we. I know. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it, but like I know that it's like you know what I'm thinking about, like low key, since we're coming like because since December is like the the month,
the 1 year.
It's like the 1 year anniversary. I'm almost wondering if I should just take like.
Wait, what'd she put?
Enjoy our gift.
Thank you, Howie. Sorry, what you were saying? What you were saying?
I'm considering making a picture where it's like just a little drawing of like all of the because I think by that point, yeah, you know what? I think by the time we have a year, all of our second gen kids will be adults.
They are, because I mean, the only ones left are
Gabe and Dimitri
and Ida. And Ida,
yeah, and Ida. And Dawn.
Yeah, poor Dawn. We always forget about Dawn.
I know, poor Dawn. And I swear, I want to like make a joke picture of like all the characters that we keep forgetting that like don't come up.
It's the joke. It's like it's the gremlin.
Yeah, and then we fucking left Dawn a while, and when she came back, we made her fucking fucking douchebag.
But we need villains, just like how
she became the new Lust. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we should. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was considering like because we have like our little anniversary thing coming up, quote unquote. Like, what if I just drew a picture?
Our crackversary.
Like, it would take like I'd have to start like way before, and I don't know if I'd even actually be able to commit to doing it. But I almost want to like try and make a picture of like all of that generation of kids from Gabe to the Horseman, like as adults, like all grown up.
I think if you did Gabe to the Horseman grown up,
yeah, well, yeah, I don't like anything because I'd be like the first generation. I mean, that'd be a lot of kids, but like,
well, they're technically besides the Horsemen, they're the crack generation.
I know it's like
these stories are both destroying and melting my heart. You're welcome.
Yes. Well, it's like it'd be okay. Let me hang on. I'm gonna count.
Oh my God, they brought it. This is the prophesized Crackland stream. Plan on it.
I know. Gosh. So like, God. So I know that it would be. Let's see. We'd have Morgan. We'd have Matt. We'd have Angel. Naya. Nios.
Oh, would you want all the kids? That's a lot of kids.
I'd want to try. I probably might not do it, but I'd want to try.
Naya, Nios, Matthias,
Dawn,
Ida. Dawn, Gabe.
It would be Morty, Franny, Bella, Morgan. Oh, I already said Morgan. Gabe and Dimitri. Oh fuck, I would be there too. Another one of the kids we keep forgetting about.
Yeah, Eyes go.
What?
I said I is being cute and stupid somewhere else.
I know. Don't worry, it'll be fine. It still makes me laugh the joke of just like of Dawn just like sees I do something like really ditzy and stupid. I'll put my dick in that.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, and then then there's Kai Jr.
Right.
There's Cassie. There's Elliot.
Mm-hmm.
The boy. There's Lucas. There's
Oh
Alec.
shit! All the dragon kids too. Like that's a lot.
I know.
Okay.
I'm an overachiever.
All right. Let's see.
I mean, I could if I like started on
This is what I have now.
Yeah, hang on. Because I think that's what's on my.
3, 4, 5.
Yeah, that's
6,
a lot of
7.
kids.
Oh, I don't even have Angel on here. Shit.
That's
okay.
right. Fuck Angel.
Angel. Angle. No, bitch.
Oh god. Yeah. So it's a lot of kids. Kind of want to try. I don't know if I could do it, but I mean, I could maybe if I like didn't do full bodies and I just did a bunch of half bodies.
There's no way you'd be able to do full bodies with this.
Yeah,
That would be way too much.
I don't think I could make a whole picture with all of them together.
I think you could do like a bust picture, like one of those
That's
shots.
what honestly, that's what I'm thinking. Like just a really long shot of all of them, like next to each other, just to be like, it's a little Crackland anniversary. 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22. We're at 22 so far. Remember when we just had 7 kids?
Remember when I was just 7 and technically only 3 of them were crack kids?
Yeah.
Now we're here. How'd we get here? Alright, well, I got to go, dude.
I should too, but this was fun.
This was fun.
Crackland stream part 1. Yeah, Michie and Zodiac recap their roleplay part 1. So there we go.
Yep. Alright. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you for listening, all of you who were here.
And having us go down memory lane in our
Thanks
crazy
to the person
shit.
who asked the question.
Yeah. Love you all. Bye. Smetches.
Bye.